Happy Friday, everyone. Welcome back. It's nearing the end of the year, and the Santa rally is anything but. We saw a lot of stocks take some pretty big hits yesterday, especially none other than our favorite GameStop. Tesla also took a big shit. So no saying where this dump will end, but at least today in pre-market, it's looking green, as you can see from the background. So fingers crossed. I mean, there's still time for Santa to come, right, guys?
There's still time, yes. And you know that Santa could come in the form of Sam Bankman-Fried. He's out on bail. We could have a talk with him now.
Hello, dear sir.
So I've been holding a big ass fucking empty bag of fucking AMC and APE for the last say couple years.
I was gonna mention AMC.
And so and a side note, I had a big ass bag of fucking Sundial. But last night post market, I said, you know what? I'm gonna take the $2,000 loss, dump the Sundial. I got another 3,000 cash today. My play is still for the day. I'm gonna jump in on APE. I don't know much about options. I'm new to this. That's why I'm here. Good morning, everybody. But I do the straight shares. I'm currently sitting on, let me look. I'm in on about 3,000 shares, but my price is super fucking high since back in 2021. But I'm going to play this $3,000, try to get in at like 99 cents and just have some fun. So that's what I'm going to start with for today, brothers.
Sounds good. Is your parrot in the background? Your financial advisor?
Yeah, my fucking black lab. She's tripping. She's like, "Where's my ball at, bitch?"
Lab. That sounded like an actual monkey.
No, that's a lab, baby. But yeah, what's the market cap that we can speak on stocks real fast?
Zero.
Is the PC report out?
No. My question is on stocks that I could or could not speak on. What's the market cap?
So we removed the market cap limit for the Reddit talks.
Okay, cool. So I got a couple other plays. Again, I told you I don't do options. I was lucky enough to
stay. Can we talk about your AMC for a second?
Yes, we can, please. I've been in AMC since February 2nd, 2021. I put in total about, let me look, I'm a big ass bag holder, so I eat green fucking crayons. Okay, so I'll click on AMC view tax lot. My total tax lot is at 2,568 shares. I'm at $14.68. I'm here holding. My expectation was when it split, I knew it was dilution. So I said, fuck it. I'm already in this play for fucking long. I already beat the capital gains tax. So I said, fuck it. I'm going to hold. They did the dilution with the APE. I actually flipped some here and there between the two of them, shorted it, just made some daily money. But I've been holding with just to see what the fuck happens, just because I've been in this motherfucker so long.
So,
anyone else?
Can I advise you something?
Please, I take all financial advice.
No, this is not a financial advice. This is a friendly advice.
Sir, yes, sir.
So the APE is currently up a big. This is not going to hold. If you can sell with a profit, sell. Don't invest anything else in AMC. AMC is dying. There's nothing there. Like there is better opportunity in the market.
Yeah, man, I'm down $45,000 between the two, so or the one. God. So I'm gonna just hold, bro. Like I don't need the fucking money. I do this shit for fun. You know what I mean? Like to me, I'm not gonna take that big of a loss. But for other shit, like I dumped my Sundial yesterday because I'm just like fuck it. So for example. I got in COSM when it was like 11 cents before the split, I guess about on the 1st of December. And when it started to do that shit up last Friday, I sold all my green lots at AMC was like $4 lots. I sold all of them, threw it in the COSM. I actually made 17,000 on Friday on cause, just going in and out, in and out, in and out. And so I sent a little bit of change to the bank, and now I'm just kind of playing with house money. But I do agree with you; it is dead. But I can't fucking sell $45,000 and take fucking what 10 grand.
You can. So you can harvest the loss.
Yeah. So I mean, I own a business. I operate out of a trust, so I'm gonna write all it off. So at the end of the day, my other plays though, real fast. Apron, APRN. I believe it may squeeze.
Oh
may
Jesus
not.
Christ!
Just hear me out. The company ain't worth a shit, but but we're just playing in and out. You know what I mean? I bought last night. I think I bought it like 99 cents, and I sold it at $1.05, right? And I bought 6,000 shares. Like I'm just making $200-300 a play. My other play, real fast, is another shit play, but I've been making money on it for the last 2 days. It's TRKA. I'm playing the penny on that bitch. I'm buying 10 to 20,000 shares. I went in at 12. I sold at 14. Then I went back in at like 13.2. Currently, I have a buy for a straight 13 at 20,000 shares. For Apron, I have a buy at 97 cents for 3,000 shares. And I have Ape. I'm going to buy some more Ape today. I have it set at $1.05 at 800 shares. So I'm going to just play those. I set my stop losses and fuck it. I'm playing with house money for the next couple of weeks at the end of the day. And we restart this shit in January, baby.
Nobody listen to this guy. Nobody follow him, please.
No financial advice. We know where we're
Nobody
at.
follow him.
I appreciate
Hey,
So
can you talk about
my
PC
friend,
report?
Yes.
get out of AMC. Ape hasn't diluted it yet. They're voting to see if Ape can dilute it, which will happen. And once they do, that's going to open up $1 billion worth of dilution for a company that is in $5 billion worth of debt. You are literally sitting there saying, please dilute me, daddy. If you want to play Ape on the conversion, fine. But if you're holding AMC, you're literally saying, you know what sounds good? $1 billion worth of dilution so AMC can save itself at my expense.
Dilute me harder, popcorn daddy.
And
Yeah, I
it's not
fucked
gonna.
up back in June last year. I fuck around and sold my Tesla for more AMC June 6th when that shit was like $60. I played the shit out of myself. But rookie moves, I'm here. I appreciate y'all listening to me. Any advice is fucking solid because fuck it. It is what it is at this point.
Don't play your Blue Apron. You were lucky. They got an investment that's.
You don't think it's gonna ride a couple cents today? Get a couple dollars?
Company.
I mean, I'm just trying to make $200-300 a day or per trade.
Company doesn't mean you can't trade it.
There you go, baby. I make $200-300 a trade a day. I can make $500-600 a day. You know, whatever. This is my side job. You know what I mean?
Yeah, on your
Apron is
side
You
job.
should definitely listen to
simple.
the advice that everyone has given you of selling your AMC.
On his side job, he's losing 45K.
Yeah,
No, you guys, you need to listen to this guy. Look, Apron is up 10% or 13%.
Thank you, man. I'm making
Because
my
they got an investor. That's why.
How much are you up in pre-market?
That's what I'm saying. I'm up $2,000 in pre-market, so I'm not tripping. I'm gonna just get it. I have day trader status, so I'm in at 7. I'm out at 8 p.m. and I just play the game. Fuck it, let's play.
Sure. So, how much are you down? Like all time?
73,000, 73K.
Okay.
But for the year, to duly noted, let me open my account up. I've a year-to-date realized gain of 6,200, and I sent $5,000 to my account on Friday after I licked on COSM. So fuck it. Like I said, I'm here to play, and I write off all my losses, and I'm learning the game.
Exactly. Simple. The thing you don't understand is that you need to lose money to make money.
Yeah, so yesterday I was like, fuck Sundial. I'm sitting on this $4,000 bag of bullshit. So I sold it. I took the $2,000 and I invested the $2,000. I'm already up 500 on that $2,000 today. I'm gonna make my 2,000 back. And I've been sitting on fucking Sundial since the reverse split, jack me off, all that other bullshit. So
All right,
I will admit I got fucking blinded by the whole fucking hype meme shit, right? But at the end of the day, I've made some money. I've learned from my stupid mistakes. I learned from you guys' stupid mistakes, and I'm learning how to play the game.
That's awesome. All right. Well, thanks for coming out and sharing.
Appreciate
I think
it.
I see a lot of other people trying to talk. So, Crazy Denny, do you have something you want to say? And then
Got it. I'm gonna mute. I appreciate it, guys. Have a good day.
Nah, I'm just cheering this dude. Like he is living the trader life. I mean, comes up on stage and just speaks the truth. Listen, we all like to pretend we make money. I get it. But this dude has nothing to hide. I raised my glass of coffee to you, brother. Good luck.
Respect.
I appreciate it. And I posted a bunch of bullshit on, if you go on Reddit, I'm sorry, last thing, go on Reddit. I'm pretty transparent on my trades. I don't give a fuck. So you can dog me out. I've lost some money, but in the end of the day, I'm always make sure at the end of the day, the end of the year, I'm in the green, baby. So I'm done. Thanks.
Thank you.
Well, sir.
Oh. Go ahead, Milnat.
No, I was just saying, well said. Just a couple things, guys. If you're on the road in the Northeast, I'm in Pittsburgh. Roads are shit, so be very careful today. It is cold as hell. Merry Christmas, y'all. It's been a wild one.
I'm in Indiana. My office is sitting at 62 degrees right now. I've got it here.
It is 8 degrees without the wind chill. I'm walking into work right now, and damn, is it cold. But it's all right. It's all right. We're going to the Steeler game tomorrow, too.
I got one more play for you. IMMP. Check it out. It's up big. I haven't jumped in yet.
Oh my fucking
I'm gonna
god!
check it. Hey man, make money and go home. That's what we do here,
Jesus
baby.
Christ!
So
Like you literally named 3 worst stocks in the fucking stock market.
doesn't matter
3
if it's
scams.
green and you can trade in the green and you can get out the day with a couple green dollars. That's what we're here for. I
Dude, you're
learned from
gonna
holding
lose
these
all your
bags.
money
It's
by
simple. He
Q1.
didn't say Bed Bath & Beyond or Meta.
Yeah, you're right. He's gonna lose his old money by the Q1 and watch
Hey,
it.
Simple, how is
I'll
your
push it if I make
position?
or lose. You got it.
IMMP, by the way, is also up 20% in pre-market. So
Thank you.
So is it too late to get into these things, or are we still looking at an
I'll be
opportunity to
honest
make
with
some money,
you.
my
Listen,
friend?
IMMP, I haven't watched it. You know, I do the tier 2 and I watch these numbers, right? So I haven't done that yet, but there's a lot of fucking volume. So if you can get in, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to get in pre-market because I haven't watched it for a couple days. But the 3 I mentioned, the APE, the fucking TK, whatever, I'm in those. I've been watching them for 3 days. I've been making money all day, every day for the last 3 days. And so I'm saying buy those, watch them, buy those. That's what I'm buying. No financial advice. I have orders already set. So if they cash in now, they're pretty super low, but I'm expecting that 9:30 dump, you know, and then we run through 12 o'clock and then we have our lunchtime and then it comes back at about 2 o'clock and it pumps till 3:30 and you get out before the market closes. So I have been trading for 20 years, to be honest with you, but I'm just like, I learned from my own shit. So
I
IMMP.
have to admit. So we've been doing these talks for how long, Opinion? For a year and a half now.
yeah,
And this is the first time that I heard somebody picking a stocks by he's looking at them for a couple of days.
I mean, if you're gonna do this shit, you gotta do this shit for real. Like you're gonna play this. I'm playing with real money, not no fuckboy money. So I'm okay with losing money because I make money in life for real, and I can write all this shit off. If you operate out of a trust, you own a business, all this shit is write offable. So anyway, at the end of the day, you want to get in stocks that have volume so you can get in and out, set your stop loss. If you lose a couple dollars but make a couple dollars over here, you're always fucking winning. And I'm a fucking Commanders fan. I live in Northern Virginia, so I'm never fucking winning.
I mean, there's a lot of people that day trade on that. I mean, they have their scanners. They look for volume. They look for certain setups. I mean, there's a lot of people that do what you do, bro.
I appreciate it. Well, that's what I do. So, like I said, IMMP, I don't know. I'm not in it yet. I'm going to wait for it to open and see how low they push that bitch down. Check the volume between the, you know, and see what it do.
awesome. Well, thank you very much. Now maybe let's talk about stocks with market caps over 25 million. If there's
So I
anyone
can't
else
talk about APE.
Oh, what is the market cap of APE anyways?
Does it have a market cap? I don't even pay attention.
I don't
Yeah, it
understand.
does. APE is around, wait, let me see. 4 billion.
Oh wow. So I actually do think APE might have a play in there just on the conversion. If you're gonna do it, I would do it more as a pairs of short AMC, get APE shares. But that vote's probably passing, and it's probably going to convert to AMC. I would imagine it's going to take a much harder hit to AMC than it is going to actually push up APE. But I could see APE moving up enough that it's worth taking a long shot on if it's a 1-to-1 conversion, right? So put a little money on it, wait it out and see what happens. But I fully expect that vote to pass. I don't think someone's giving you $110 million in exchange for APE shares if they don't think that vote's happening. And you know all their votes are going to be for yes. So it's the way I'm looking at it.
Very nice. In pre-market, by the way, it's going schizophrenic. We were plus 25 basis points. Now we're then minus 25 basis points. Now up 50 basis points. What the heck is going on?
I don't think the market knows how to price it yet.
I was talking about SPY.
Oh, okay, never mind.
But you're absolutely right.
Is the PCE data out? Probably. That's why it's going up.
Yeah, it came out at 8:30.
That's probably why it's going up.
Yeah.
Does anybody
I
know
was-
the result?
Yeah, let me pull up there. But yeah, I don't think the market knows how to price ape either because it's continuing to go up in pre-market today. So
Probably shorts closing.
that's everyone always says, "Oh, it's short, it's closing." Whenever something comes out, come on.
I mean, legitimately, if today it converted, you're getting a $1.60 stock that converts to $4.25. Obviously, there's a lot of other things that play into that, but there is a value gap in there, right? There's that exists.
If you can get it under $1, it's probably the best move, honestly, because it converts what,
Too
10 to
late.
1?
It converts 1 to 1.
1 to 1 or 10 to 1?
It converts 1 to 1, and then they're doing a 10 to 1 split
Okay,
on just
Split
all
after,
AMC
yeah.
shares.
If I remember, it's 1 to 1.
Fair enough.
So guys,
you know-
PC
Oh,
data
yeah.
looks good. Any
Hey, yo,
plays?
I've also played DWAC over the last couple of days. It's a lot of movement in between like $16 and $18. Like you can play that like a motherfucker. And so I don't know if Trump has any news or anything coming out, but I bought in and I've been in and out that motherfucker like a whorehouse, getting paid.
More trading cards. Okay, wait, sorry. What was the
Guys,
PCE
let's
data?
focus. PCE data.
DWAC,
Let's focus.
Trump's social media site or whatever.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
he
I
was
know that.
asking for
Wait.
something else.
What's the PCE data?
It looks good. Microsoft and SPY is flying right now. Anybody have any plays on things that should gap up because the PCE data looks like inflation is really cooling?
I don't know. I think you're better off just going green, just going long today. However you want to go long, just go long.
How
You
long?
guys really think the green will hold the entire day?
And by the way, PCE data, by the way, is basically CPI, but it comes from like businesses, like corporations, as opposed to tracking it from consumers.
Yeah, and I think the government, the Fed looks at that number more than CPI. I heard, at least that's what they said in the report. So if it's good, I think today's gonna be a really green day.
And you might get a nice little whipsaw back, a 1.5% day. I mean, you're already up almost 0.5%. So I'll be probably like I did yesterday. I'll probably buy 0 days to. So I bought the 382 put yesterday, and I mean, I think I bought it for 90 cents, and by midday, I think it was running around $5. I didn't hold it that long, but I think you've got an opportunity to play early in the day, and then maybe try to make, I don't know, 25 to $1, depending on how much you can get out of SPY. But that's what I'll be doing.
So you're saying Santa's finally here?
Santa's finally here enough to make a little bit of money. Yeah.
And then everything comes crashing down again.
Yeah, I mean, you're playing
Oh.
0 days, so you just get in and you get out again. Same day.
If PCI is also showing inflation's cooling, then I think the Fed's last meeting was just very hawkish, just to scare the markets. And I could see it next in January, them saying, "Oh, by the way, we're not going to raise rates that high."
No, listen. I think I talked about this last time. This happened again in the 70s with inflation. So inflation came down and the Fed backed off interest rate hikes, and that's when it shot up to 20%. They will not stop raising interest rates because they do not want that to happen again. So they are going to stay with their foot on the economy for longer than they did previously, because he does not want to basically have it happen a second time. I would put he might come back and say that they're thinking about it, like his tone might be, but he will continue to raise interest rates. I would guarantee.
Hold on. There's raising and there's keeping interest rates where they are. It's quite restrictive to keep interest rates where they are right now. He talked about this concept of like a plateau where they would stay higher for longer, but that doesn't mean that he's going to keep raising.
Yeah, I don't understand why people think you just start lowering rates immediately.
I guess that depends on the job numbers. If unemployment starts going up, he might start releasing the pressure, because I don't think he wants the economy to break. But I think that the soft landing approach might be working. But yeah, I don't think they're going to raise rates if PCI and CPI is coming in cooler than they thought.
It's most likely going to be a quarter point raise. for the interest. It's not going to be a half point anymore.
Y'all
Whoever
are
think that
dreaming.
we're not heading for a recession in 2023, you're dreaming. I don't know if Crazy Denny wanted to say that, but yeah, you're all dreaming. It's not going to be
It's not
pretty.
going to be. It's not just going to be a recession. I think it's going to be like an abyss. It's gonna.
Yeah.
It's gonna stop. It's
Wait,
gonna
why
It's not going to be
be-
pretty.
Why do
So
people do that?
whoever is buying stocks now, you can buy them at cheaper prices in like a month or two. But
Yep,
that's just
I
an
agree.
opinion.
I
I
agree
wouldn't
totally.
say that. I mean, keep in mind the economy is not the stock market, and the stock market is not the economy. They
Exactly.
can move in tandem, but they also can kind of go against each other sometimes. So I mean,
No, they
the
don't. No, they
the
don't.
stock market is forward. It's exactly why you had the V recovery. I mean, don't pretend like anybody predicted that during COVID you had the greatest comeback in the history of the market. Like it's not what happens today. It's what happens 3 and 6 months from today.
Correct.
But very well, people could be pricing in next year's recession. We don't know that ultimately. I mean, that's the game we play, right? Could it get worse? It could. But could people start saying, "Hey, yeah, we're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel"? And if anybody says we see the light at the end of the tunnel, you better believe the money's going to come
Sure,
start pouring back in.
sure, Denny. So a question, a gun to your head. You need to buy the stocks, any stock. Is it going to go up or down next year?
Pull the trigger.
So fucking funny.
We haven't even entered the tunnel yet. We can't even see the light yet. We haven't even entered the tunnel yet. Everybody's had this hopium going about the soft landing and the bullshit that we're hearing from Washington. And I'm telling you, out on the streets, I run a small business. My business, I had to lay off 2 people, which hasn't been counted in the employment reports yet because it just happened a couple of weeks ago. My business has gone from 30 incoming calls for our services and construction services, 30 calls a month to 10. And even with seasonal adjustments, because this is our slow season, last year we were still busy at this time. Even with seasonal adjustments, it's business is in the shitter. People are they're out of money, and the ones that do have money are not spending it. And we haven't even gone into the tunnel yet to be able to see a light. I guarantee it.
Yeah, but my job is hiring people, so it's
So,
anecdotal.
question: if fourth quarter numbers come back in nice, meaning consumer spending is still high in the fourth quarter, does that change your tune? I mean, if the consumer continues to spin through the recession, you might have a not a consumer recession. I mean, there's shit's happened in the last 2 years. It's never happened before, and that's all I'm going to say. I mean,
That's true. That's true. And none of that. And right. And I said this before that we're not right now, like the stuff that's going on with the war in Ukraine. Like it has an impact on markets. The U.S. and EU sanctions, they wiped out $30 trillion from the global economy. That chicken still has to come home to roost. The United States, like Biden or whoever, like Powell or whatever, they have this idea of trying to bring down unemployment at the same time, or try to raise unemployment at the same time that they're trying to bring manufacturing back to the United States. Unemployment is not going to go down, and he's going to keep trying to raise interest rates. They've already overshot with the interest rate maneuvers that they've done. Believe me, the worst is after New Year and all the holiday stuff is over with. All this stuff is going to start happening. You'll see it. I put my money where my mouth is. I personally have 275 strike price SPY puts for June.
yeah, you've got some brutal strikes, no doubt.
Yeah,
and I have like I was right about Tesla. I was right about Tesla when I said that when I sold at 220, and I said I'm going to start buying back in at around 140, 130, and it's even exceeded, like the drop in Tesla even exceeded my expectations.
Yeah, but
and like all the stuff,
Tesla like disjointed from the NASDAQ because of Elon's bullshit. Like
that's Elon's bullshit.
Why are you so positive?
But then you've got Jeff Bezos telling people.
Human. Give me a second. Lamping. Why are you so positive about the market?
No, I'm not saying I'm positive. I'm just saying basically history is not always one-on-one mapping, right? This is a different type of interest rates that
nobody is referring to history, which is referring to current data.
Yeah, but current data as well points to that the consumer is still strong. Like recession has to have something break. Like if people are saying this is going to be another 2000 or 2008, I don't see how anything is breaking to that level right now.
You don't see it. So what human was going to say? What about Amazon CEO? What Jeff Bezos? What about all the CEOs, bank CEOs?
That's anecdotal because all the CEOs are saying it's going to be a soft landing, right?
Oh, that's anecdotal when they're saying they were going into huge recession and the economy is going to suffer.
Yeah, when Jeff Bezos, when Jeff Bezos, the person who's trying to sell you stuff, is telling you not to buy big ticket items, that's a warning. When FedEx, right, the people at FedEx, when they're cutting staff during the holidays, like which is one of their busiest seasons, that's got to tell you got to look at that.
Yes, but you got to also look at economics, right? When people tweak variables and models, right? In the past, the humans or regular civilians didn't pay attention, but now everybody's like a year prepared. People were prepared for this, so we're assuming right now that nobody's prepared, right? That's the first thing. Second thing, this is a different type of interest rate raising that I've done it with them before. Previously, Volcker came in, slashed up the interest rate really high. Others waited way too long. This is the first time they're doing slow incremental increases, right?
But you're again referring to as the interest rates are the main problem. We're saying the economy is the problem.
But I'm saying,
and again,
I'll tap in on the economy. So I own a small business. I've been in business for about 8.
Wait, Fly, let him finish. Go Lamping.
Just saying something has to break. In 2000, you had bullshit companies that were making no money, right? 2008, mortgages broke. What's breaking right now, right? That's the question you have to ask yourself before you're saying, oh, we're going into a wild recession.
No,
something needs to break, right? That's the only thing.
Well,
nothing's broken right now.
Do you think the housing market broke?
The monetary system is broken, man. That's what's broken.
And there's so many companies from the top of my head that don't earn money or have more debt than assets. Huge companies. I don't know what you're talking about.
But is that debt at 0% or 1%? Is that serviceable debt?
It depends on the company. It's too general of a question, but like I said again,
it's a question that has to be asked, right?
The debt on credit cards has never hit 0 or 1%, right? The interest rate that people experience is personal.
But the debt on credit card compared to income is the lowest it's ever been. So the debt ratio to income ratio is the lowest it's ever been. Correct?
And
Am I wrong on that?
It's rising.
Oh, it's rising, but it's still incredibly low though.
I don't have the number on that. All I know is that as far as the interest,
where did you get the number?
I listened to a podcast called Animal Spirits. It's kind of two nerds that talk all kinds of random shit, but I believe that's what they said last week when I was listening.
I need to check that out.
Yeah, here.
It's
in their podcast.
It's a good podcast. I listened to that as well. Good podcast.
It's fun.
There was a chart that was posted in WallStreetBets I like last week or so where they showed the interest rate rises compared to other times that the interest rates were going up. This is one of the fastest interest rate rises that we've experienced in such a short period of time. I'll try to find the chart and repost it, but this is not a time when they're doing slow interest rate rises. They did it fast and hard. In fact, faster and harder than any other time before in recent memory. And they overshot it because they didn't take into consideration the other stuff that was going on.
I saw that chart, and yeah, it does show that.
I still don't get why anybody will be a bull now. Yeah, go ahead, Fly.
In regards to the whole economy, so I own cell phone stores. Been in business with the cell phone business for like 10 years. Did real estate, went through the 06, 08. The reason this shit's fucked up, so retail side, I now have to put one person in the store, pay them fucking $20 an hour and expect them to do what 2 people would do. People aren't spending money because everything in the fucking world costs more. So it's necessity, gas, food, vagina, dick, whatever you like, that's what you're going to pay for, right? So outside of that, there's not much money left to be spent. So with the housing market, it's about to fucking bust because I have a property I'm trying to sell for $800,000. You have to fucking be paying almost $6,000 a fucking month for that house. There's no way you can afford that. And this is in Northern Virginia. So I push back and think to myself, what the fuck is really about to happen? So I think, in my opinion,
your business slowing down.
It has. So I'm a cell phone store. iPhone 14, I talked about it before. I had a list of people who wanted it. When it came in, nobody fucking showed up. Now, this last 2 weeks, it's been pretty good, but it's nothing like even when it was 2019, there was all these checks being passed out. People were spending money, all this money in Wall Street, yada, yada, yada. So now they're spending all the money and giving all the fucking money to Ukraine while the government's making money. So we can make money in any market. Doesn't matter what the fucking market is. You just got to know your niche and do what you do best. There's always going to be red days, but there's always stocks that are fucking green. The volatile is what I chase. I like to chase the money plays. And on that note, I'm going to give you a play. I don't know. You do what you do. XPON, X-ray, Pimp, Onion, Nancy. That's the ticker. That's one of them I just ran across. I'm not in it. I don't know shit about it. I like to watch for a little bit before I jump in, and then I'll jump in, and then I buy the dips. That way, when it goes up, I'm making money all the way up. So even if I buy in,
Fly, Jesus fucking Christ! It's a 6 million market cap. We're not gonna discuss about that. I don't give a shit. Does anybody have anything to say more about the Fed and interest rates and economy? Go ahead.
Yes.
Yeah, just the last thing.
Oh,
Sorry,
go
last thing I'd
on.
like to say
Go on.
about the-
No problem. I
the-
give you the stage. Come on, go on.
The last thing I'd like to say about the economic stuff is that, like with we've cut our advertising budget, which is the same thing that you're seeing with Google and the other companies that rely on advertising revenue. Everyone is saying that the advertising is down because the response to advertising right now is low. Like we haven't changed anything in our business. We still advertise through the same channels and also online. And the reason that people are cutting their advertising budgets is because right now there's no response to the advertisements like there was before with the calls coming in. So and then also as far as the economic stuff goes, if the economy is going so well and things are still strong, then why are CarMax, Carvana, all these other companies struggling to sell their vehicles? Right?
Yeah,
Why
I
is
can
the
answer
automotive
that.
industry going down?
The interest rates went through the roof, guys. Like, that halted anything really buying that you needed to finance. However, mortgage rates have come down almost back to under 4%. So if the mortgage rates continue to come down, and for whatever reason, don't underestimate the power of the Fed to change on a dime and turn this economy back on. They can do whatever they want, for one thing. But if mortgage rates come back down to below 4%, back to like 3.5 or 3 3/4, like don't ask, people will go back to buy housing, and there's going to be pent up demand, and you're going to see another friggin' huge jump. People still want to move. It's just that the 7% scared everybody to shit.
Yes. Can I add a bet here related to what
Go
you
ahead,
guys
journalist.
discussed? Hi, Simple Wise.
Yo, go ahead.
Yeah. How are you, Simple Wise, by the way? You good?
I crashed from my motorcycle, so I'm not that fine. That's why I'm here. I'm not at work.
What happened, my friend?
Doesn't matter. Go ahead, put your bet. Let's hear
Okay,
it.
I will DM you because I care about you, man. All right. So yes, thank you everyone to having me. I appreciate opinion who has been very loyal to me. So just wanted to
Hurry
add.
up with your bet.
Yes, sir. So basically I would short iShares US home construction ETF, all right? Because as the other guy was saying, the housing market in the US is about to just boom, yeah. And so then I also wanted to ask you guys, like you should pay me something because I gave you a very good due diligence on Keon.
How did your Keon play turn out?
What?
No, we're not going to let anyone tell us that we have to pay them.
Hey, I just posted that Twitter post and it's basically a
Come
percent
on, don't kick
of
him.
debt as wages is the lowest it's been in 20 years, minus the plunge and COVID. So I just posted in chat. You're welcome to look at it.
Good riddance to our favorite troll, Angry Journalist.
Indeed.
So yeah,
sorry.
regarding, sorry, you kicked me out. I should continue just for a few more seconds. I'm very busy. I have to leave the talk actually, but just to let you know, Keon Group is a massive, buy opportunity, all right? I know a lot of guys read the due diligence. I have a lot of DMs, messages. Hey, thank you, journalist. We appreciate that. This is the most, kind of profound and detailed due diligence we have ever read
Hurry
in
up
this
and say the
talk.
play.
What's the ticker symbol?
KION, right? You still have the chance because we have this correction in the market, okay? So this company's fair value, actually, I have went through the full cash flow statement analysis, right? Right now, I don't have the share details, but this is minimum right now 54 euros. I'm talking about the ticker trading in the German stock exchange, which is right now at 27 euros. Today, I think it's up 4%. But still, there is a massive, opportunity to, load this on your portfolio for the long term. I don't do short-term bets anymore. As you know, guys, I'm very serious in my investment portfolio journey. So having said that, thank you very much. Have a great Christmas. Simple Wise, I hope you recover as I recover from your step when you stepped me. I was expecting your loyalty. No problem at all. We are still friends. And yeah, good luck, everyone.
All right,
Man,
thank you for
the
that.
troll I got to say is a whole piece. That's impressive. You guys are very lenient here.
Back to the bridge.
Hey
I was
guys.
overruled.
Hey, this is Feeling. I am first time speaking here. So I just wanted to ask whoever said that the mortgage rates are for something. I don't, where are you getting your mortgage rates from? Because
I was thinking the same shit.
I saw it's down to 6.1. Someone correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, that's
And
pretty close to 4%.
For my mortgage, the bank sent me a renewal which forecasts a lower interest rate for next year.
So what we were talking about new mortgages, I thought.
Yeah, but my renewal is weird because they sent me a lower interest rate. So my guess is that banks are secretly probably forecasting that interest might go lower, but I don't know. But they sent me something lower,
So
which is weird.
You all know that 7% is the highest that it has been in 20 years. So of course it's going to be lower than the highest that's ever been.
No, I mean like lower.
No, I know, but like the lady said that why is everybody talking like the mortgage rates are going to go up? Like they were the highest they were in 20 years.
I misspoke. I should have said they're headed back toward 4. They're not back at 4 yet, but I think they're headed back toward like 4%.
Oh, you're right. Thanks.
Whole conversation is a bit short-sighted. Hey everybody. Also first time here. I think we need to look long-term at how us as a community can create value and decentralize value rather than chasing a market or speculating. And I know that's happened in like AMC and all this fucking bullshit, but
I'm very close to kicking you out. Let's hear the rest of it.
Apologies. How do we create value as a team?
We're not
There is no
collectively
we.
creating. No, yeah, that's not how this works, man.
Goodbye.
If you want, you can just send me money via mail. I wouldn't mind that.
Okay, so I'll just throw in some a quick 2 cents on the economy because I'm a limited partner in a small business, and we do sort of artisanal meats and cheeses. It's like a specialty butcher shop. We just had our best month ever. It's I mean the month isn't even done, and we're already on track for our best month. We're doing a lot of Facebook advertising that works really well for us because it's a very visual product. So there are different types of businesses that do well right now. I could see how a cell phone store is not going to do very well, but there's some segments of the economy that do quite well right now by comparison. So it's not a
Quick
monolith here.
question.
There's different people making
Quick
different times.
question. In your opinion, have the prices of your products gone up a lot last couple of months?
Not my opinion. Fact, absolutely. We've been able to raise prices because we keep stocking out.
Well, your product sounds like it's more of a luxury product. Like if you're the average American isn't buying $23 imported prosciutto and
Oh, we make it, but yeah.
you know what I'm saying. Like your customers, they can survive this. Like a few, like Elon Musk losing $100 billion is
Right.
nothing to. He's
Yeah.
got another $100 billion waiting.
Yeah, so you're
to be spent.
effectively saying the high end of the economy is doing okay. Yeah, I think that's correct.
Well, they always do okay because for them, buying $23 per pound prosciutto is nothing. Like they don't notice the in their pocketbook. They don't notice that. But for the average person that's living paycheck to paycheck and stuff like that, I'm guessing they're not the ones that are coming into your shop.
Well, and those are the shops also that can get away with inflated inventories and being able to keep up margins and all that. And on that note, I was going to say Macy's does take a nice hike here, pretty much a day before Christmas, with 1 or 2 years of the exception. I'm thinking, and it's up here, going towards 21 here. I bought the 21 call here yesterday for like $1 or something, and I got in line to get one at 23 for next week, just as a matter of principle. I mean, this is one of our stocks too. I hate the stock. I hate the company for the most part, except for my local stores at times, but it does take a hike.
I think also regarding inflation, we shouldn't forget the volatility that comes with holiday season and holiday spending overall. So I can imagine luxury products having a spike in the revenue, or companies that sell such products having a spike in their revenue for this month. But I'm not too sure how it looks
this year. You're saying, yeah,
because I can imagine Q1 earnings report being quite, I'd say, bearish, or at least not as optimistic as some other people would say.
Well, on the accounting note, I just made that too. It's going to be so funky going into this year. You just see the rollover and the way they're going to be doing methods and everything going forward from here. I can just imagine it is what I'm saying.
Yeah, everything's based on guidance right now.
Are we done talking about speculative plays with the Fed and everything else? I have a play.
I think Macy's is pretty speculative. That's what I'm getting. That's what I'm really meaning. I think Macy's is pretty speculative to begin with, but it's not unheard of them to just shoot up in the beginning of the year.
Nice. So I'm looking at UNP, Union Pacific Corporation. I was looking at that for a long ass time now. I think the company is great. I'm waiting for it to go down a little bit more. Right now, price to sales is 5.3. EBITDA is 13. The company is just phenomenal. And I think they're going to be a long-term play for me. I'm going to put my money where my mouth is, and I'm going to start buying them if they go just a little bit more down, around 200 maybe.
As far as long plays, I'm looking at PBR. You have a pretty juicy dividend, and the stock usually goes back and forth. It's going back and forth between like $9 and $11, $12. So I'm trying to get into some more on that when that goes down.
What's the dividend there?
PBR. Last time it was like 40% dividend. It's insane.
49% dividend right now.
It's a
Jesus
Brazilian.
Christ, what the fuck?
It's the Brazilian government-run oil company in Brazil, and it's
Tell the name again. What's the name again?
Paribas Petróleo Brazilian something or other. It's PBR.
They just got upgraded by Goldman from 11 to
Papa
13.
Bravo Romeo.
Did you post a discussion about this last week? I swear I read this.
The first thing that comes to mind is PBR the beer. I'm sorry.
I see no yield
Right.
on New York Stock Exchange.
Are we trading Pabst Blue Ribbon now?
Yeah. Do they own PBR like Pabst?
Yeah. If
Definitely
I buy
trade the
a
Pabst for
container of
Modelo.
oil, do I get a 12-pack?
if you buy a share, you can get a discount at a Brazilian gas station.
Can anyone understand why Japan has a negative interest rate while the rest of the world is like 4, 8, 9%? Argentina at 14.
The currency is much more valuable than it used to be a year ago.
Well, the idea is they want to spur more spending and less saving.
They actually just adjusted the yield curve control to be plus 25 bips, range of up to plus 25 bips. So it's like actually a low key, pretty big move that happened earlier this week, where they're finally getting out of negative interest rate territory.
By the way, we're talking about long-term plays. I was thinking about some 4 to 6 months to expiration spy puts regarding current interest rates and the economy. I can't imagine, especially with low demand in Q1, I can't imagine the economy growing as much as expected. So I can see SPY falling below 370, falling below 370 in Q1.
A bear, finally.
Am I right in seeing this? Petrobras is a 61% dividend yield?
Yeah, but it's don't fuck with those Brazilians like Rio. What's the name of the other one? It's not regular. So it's based on their Rio Tinto. Yeah, it's based on their discovery of shit. For example, Rio Tinto also had a huge dividend, and now they had like a lithium mine that was supposed to open in Serbia, but the people didn't allow it because it's gonna poison the water and everything. So they fucked their plans up. And there are tons of situations like that with those companies. So if you're planning on that dividend repeating, don't.
Well, so yeah, absolutely. I'm not planning on it repeating, but I mean, I'll take it once. Wouldn't anybody? 61 fucking percent.
Oh yeah, I mean it's been good recently. Recently, the most a volatile thing that happened there was they had elections, and the
Right.
Bolsonaro,
They switched over everything. Yeah.
So they switched it over, and Bolsonaro contested the elections, but then it kind of all quieted down. And it's getting like back into a regular rhythm of trading, and like I said, if it goes below 10, I'm gonna buy some more and just hold it long and collect dividend and place some covered calls on it.
So, do you guys think that there is a play or there will be some possible economic ramifications of student loan debt no longer being paused or not being forgiven? Because in like April if it doesn't go through for student loan forgiveness, suddenly my stuff doesn't get paused anymore and I have to start paying again. But like before, it was October of 2024. So suddenly a lot of people are going to have to be paying into their loans again. So I was just wondering if you guys had any kind of insight on that.
I would think that you either are going to see a huge push by the media and people to petition Biden to push through another loan forgiveness or to try to clear it up in the courts sometime around March. And if that doesn't go through, then yeah, you're going to see a huge increase in these lending companies that are giving out student loans.
Do we know how many of the loans are like the federal, like the Pell loans, and how many are like the private loans through banks of those student loans? Like, do we have any kind of breakdown of how that goes?
I'm sure there's a statistic out there. If fucking Google's probably your best friend. If you look at how many people are getting federal subsidized loans as opposed to private loans. I mean, these people that are going to, out of state private schools out of state, and they're paying $35,000, $40,000 a year. The federal loan isn't going to cover that. Somebody going to Rutgers University in state only having to pay $13,000 a year. The federal loan is going to cover that.
Somebody wrote a DM to me. Why is everybody saying Google is your friend? My mother is my only friend. I had to share that.
That's fucking incredible.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Wouldn't only federal loans be able to get forgive, not private ones?
Yes. Yeah. So the forgiveness is only for federal loans. It's not for private loans. So if you have a private loan, you're fucked.
And to be honest, I really don't see them ever getting that passed.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a sort of limbo thing, right? Like, I think you're going to have a couple months where some shit slides through, and then it's going to get blocked again, and then it's going to push. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to be a dam, if you will. It's going to trickle out a little bit at a time. But you're right. It's not going to go back to the way it was when they were accepting hundreds of applications.
I really just think it was for Biden's midterm approval, but
100%.
I agree.
Economy wise, I'm just thinking like a lot of people are going to be outed monthly income whenever that's no longer paused, because I was like, man, I'm safe. I don't have to pay anything until October 2024. That's a lot of time. And then suddenly I got an email the other day and it's like, hey, if this doesn't go through or if it stays in limbo, you got to start paying in like April or March or April or something.
Is there any sort of loan forgiveness that these companies are giving you for like long-term payments, like for having paid for like 3 or 4 years in a row? Like, do they lower the amount? Like, I'm new to this. I don't know how the procedures work. So like, do private companies do that for you?
I don't have any private loans.
Okay.
I can't imagine they do. Like, student loans is the one thing you can't bankrupt, right? Why would they forgive that?
From the kindness of their heart. It's Christmas, bro. Come on.
Well, I know that there are some programs with colleges that if you work for the college, they shorten your loans. Like, they'll pay your loans off. I don't know the specifics on that, but I know that those programs are out there. That's why I was kind of asking.
Yeah, if you work in the public sector, it has to be like 20 years or something like ridiculous like that,
it's
and then
out
you
there.
get loan forgiveness. I
If
actually
you
have
work at a college, it's a work study program. It's you're working during that.
Oh, well, that's a fucking joke. Never mind.
It's 15 hours a week, except during the summer.
Hey,
The
my friend
summer's
just got
winter.
190,000 forgiven, but yeah, he's been underpaid his whole career for that. But
Wow.
he has a job that he loves, so it's a trade-off, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
if
like
I had
happiness.
student loans, I would not be paying them off right now. I'd
Right.
be hoping for forgiveness.
Right, 190,000 loan forgiveness or your dream career. You know, it's like,
Right.
Do veterans
Alright.
get the same thing?
The veterans.
Hey, we don't talk about those fuckers here.
Let me loop back the conversation back to plays. Someone in the YouTube comments was mentioning XPON. They just got like an exclusive contract with some SUV supplier to supply lithium ion batteries. And I'm wondering if this is going to end up being a similar situation to GTAT, which was a stock a long, long time ago, which got an exclusive contract to sell Sapphire Bulls or something like that to Apple and be their exclusive supplier, which sounded really great. And their stock went up a lot until they couldn't keep up with demand. The penalties ate them alive, and they had to bid too low to earn the contract. So they weren't making any money, and they went bankrupt. So the stock's up like 200% or something in pre-market. Well, after hours yesterday.
6 million market cap opinion. Come on.
Is it? Oh, then never mind.
It is. And
hey, it's 12 now.
And so the deal is they're in plans to ship 5,000 batteries a year. So I don't get why the company
That's like nothing.
Yeah, it's fucking bullshit.
Well, then never mind. You can turn to talk to Tesla. Yesterday on the Twitter space, Elon Musk was like, I'm not going to sell Tesla shares for 18 to 24 months. And you know that every last time that he said that, he's been 100% truthful.
Yeah.
So
you know that there's another big fire sale coming.
You know what's funny? There's actually emails from all the people that I employed in Expion. We can send them an email and invite them to Reddit Talk so we can roast them. No, I'm serious. Like there's an actual like media relation. Team Randall email, investor relation, Ronald Bulbooth email, and phone number. We can get them on, boys.
All right, let's do it. I'll send them an email. Actually, on that topic, there's going to be a special talk for the holidays for those of you who are not culturally sensitive, Christmas, with Loose Ventures, myself, and hopefully Simple. So hopefully we'll do it on the 25th, but I'm not sure exactly. So if you want to jump in the Discord and get a like notification roll, then we'll let you know when it happens. Or you might see like a big post on the subreddit, pinned post, if you don't want to miss it. There is no talk on the 26th, though, as markets are closed, and then we'll be back on the 27th.
We will be giving out rewards.
Only if I can sit on Luce's lap while we talk.
What do you want for Christmas, young boy?
Okay, so I got a long play. I was talking about this recently. Madrigal Pharmaceuticals. The ticker is MDGL. They had a huge breakthrough with their it's a non-alcoholic cirrhosis that occurs. They had kind of the biggest breakthrough that any company has had in like 20 years. 30% increase in in symptom relief. However, I am bearish on the company. I think that it was a stage 1 trial. It's going to be a long time before they get into a place where they are producing a product that can be bought for the market. So I'm looking at January 20th, 2023. It's actually pretty expensive, but I'm looking at the 210 puts at 570. I'll try to get them for less today. But yeah, I think that they're gonna go down.
Yeah, I agree. Some DD on that. I spoke to my brother-in-law. He's a cardiologist. I talked to him about that, and he said that the disease that they're referring to is pretty much asymptomatic. Like he said, usually doctors discover it when the patient is in there for something else. They do an MRI or a sonogram, and then they detect fatty deposits on the liver. So he said usually it's asymptomatic. So if this drug relieves the symptoms, I mean, most people don't even know that they have this disease until they discover it by accident at their doctor. And I think the sort of a combo play on this might be looking at a company like Philips, or there's another company called Butterfly Labs that sell portable MRI solutions that can be used to detect this disease. So I'm guessing in order for this drug to have any kind of market success or create any kind of demand for the drug, more people are going to have to be aware that they have this disease before the drug starts selling, because otherwise they're not going to want the drug.
Oh, I see what you're doing. Wham,
So
combo
the diagnostic, so the diagnostic equipment is going to have to be sold. Like I'm seeing more of that being sold in order just to detect that people have this disease. So that might be like a binary play on this. You do the puts on Madrigal and you do the calls on like Butterfly Labs or Philips that sell the MRI, the sonogram, or the ultrasound equipment to detect the disease.
Now, keep in mind that those put plays are pretty pricey. This might not be the best play to YOLO on. I would do your DD before moving forward with that. But on a side note, I'm long on Philip Morris because they've invested in ventilators. That's right. The cigarette company has invested in ventilators.
Cool. The other thing, someone mentioned about Madrigal was they looked at the options prices prior to them announcing their results from their phase 3 trials, and he seemed to think that the price that was targeted by the options pricing at that time was around $100 a share for that Madrigal. So that's sort of kind of the target price.
Markets are open.
Just wanted to say I shared my GD regarding my play on spy puts, if anyone's interested.
Thank you very much. Markets are open, by the way, just so you guys know. Don't miss out. How are the first few seconds of your plays hanging out?
Well, I'm bankrupt. No, I'm kidding.
There's no need to fucking die. Please die, bro. Please just die.
Me or
Oh no, Tesla.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Tesla. Die Tesla.
I called it. That needs to be red out open.
For those of you doubting those Peloton puts, Peloton is sitting at $9.13 currently. So my puts are printing.
Looks like Tesla is falling off.
What are thoughts on Rivian?
Oh my God, don't even get me started on those fucking broken steering wheel electric vehicles.
So bullish it is. Got it.
If you think I'm bullish on Rivian, I have some lovely marshland in southern Florida to sell you.
I'll trade you for my beachfront property in Kansas.
Anybody been seeing? I know I'm in the Northeast, and I've been seeing a lot more electric Kias and Hyundais on the road. Is anybody else seeing that as well?
We drive a Kia Niro hybrid. It's about 850 kilometers to the tank.
Yeah,
fantastic.
And this is something kind of, I know opinion hates us when we go into car talk, but I think that's something that we, has been kind of missed. We've been talking about Ford, GM, and all these major American companies that are eventually going to EV it up, but Kia and Hyundai are already essentially there. They're using very, very minimal amounts of fuel, and like you said, they're getting 800 miles to the combo. And that's going to give Rivian and Tesla a run for their money.
I know I see a bunch of.
It's pretty darn solid. It's if you want like an SUV type vehicle, it's shockingly like an SUV for an EV.
Yeah, I know I see a bunch of Ioniq 5s around Tampa area of Florida.
Yeah. And is it
We're
me
making the Honda RAV4s made in Ontario as well, so the prices of that should be pretty competitive coming into 2023.
Yeah.
Who's playing just elevator music?
Is it me, or are we slowly? The car designs are slowly headed towards Cyberpunk 2077.
100%, absolutely. I'm here for it, though.
So something that I've been there might not be an existing play, but my thought for EVs is if everyone's going to get an EV, a lot of people are going to have to make home modifications, right? They're going to have to potentially upgrade wiring, install level 2 chargers at home. They're going to charge at home, but I don't know if there are publicly traded companies that source that type of work out that we can hit on. Because that's
the biggest problem with EV to me and like living in Florida is there's so many condominiums that they can't vote on it. Like they all have to agree to add in these electrical stations. Otherwise, one owner has to pay for it all. And it just makes it so inefficient in Florida.
Oh, wow, I didn't think about that. That's 100% correct. That you have all these townhome communities, and in order to integrate one of those, it has to be paid for by the consensus. It has to be a vote.
The real way to store energy, though, is to pump water upwards and then use the gravity to spin the turbine back down to reproduce the energy back into the system.
Alternatively, now we're pumping air under the lake in Ontario and storing in huge bags, and then at peak we release the bags and they spin the turbine coming out using the pressure from the lake.
Simple systems.
So my question is, how do I release the bags that I'm currently holding for all these fucking puts?
I'll take that.
You go outside on your front porch and you yell as loud as you can. I declare bankruptcy. 9 times out of 10, it works.
So if we're going on the whole recharger thing, silver, copper, recycling, garbage companies, these companies are making a killing turning product over that is just thrown out.
Yep.
Mafia always will win.
Waste management, is that what we're thinking?
Waste Management, Waste Co., all these companies, just look at the last 3 years for them. It's disgusting.
Yeah, they've made maximum profits. Waste Management is always a nice stock to have in your portfolio, period. I have a couple shares of it.
The economy is going to garbage. The garbage is going up. That's what they say.
Right.
By the way, for anyone looking for some indirect or direct commodities play, there's a value company called Linde PLC, ticker LIN, and those guys are basically partly a mining company, and the other part is focused on industrial facilities mining those commodities they're producing. In that case, would be natural gas, and market cap is around 100 billion, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 100 billion. Biggest company, the German index, also part of the S&P. So just saying, for anyone looking for some long-term commodities play, Lindsay looks like it could be a good choice, especially regarding the LNG terminals being even more in demand in the next couple of months, and regarding geopolitical affairs in Ukraine and Russia. I can quite possibly imagine companies that focus on nat gas will have probably an increase in revenue, at least an increase in demand for the products.
Cleanest burning fuel. Genetics, I also strongly believe in.
By the way, Tesla's dying off. Just saying, holy shit.
Hello, everyone.
Everything dumping
sorry.
hard. Whoever had those Tesla puts must be feeling pretty good right now.
Yeah, Tesla dropped $3. From
Holy fucking shit.
Isn't it getting close to? I don't actually believe he'll get margin called, but isn't it getting close to where Elon actually can have some issues, like legitimate issues?
It absolutely is. But we're getting close to margin calls as is now.
I know there was. I'm not going to be able to give a source for it because I can't remember, but I remember hearing about that a lot of people have been using Tesla shares as collateral for other things, and it's getting screwed over right now.
Yeah, and a lot of the smaller investors were confident using margin on Tesla and have been getting margin called. So like those are the ones I'm worried about, the ones that kind of like the fanboying after, Elon.
You know it's fucking crazy when Dogecoin outperforms Tesla.
I'm looking forward to the next Twitter poll from Elon. That's just, should I answer this call from TD Ameritrade?
There's like a Tesla news blitz like half an hour ago being like price target 175. They're trying to get everyone to buy. Look at this.
It's a
To be
fucking
honest,
joke,
I can imagine
man.
Tesla going to 120 today.
Yeah.
Isn't
But those
121
puts are priced in at fucking Jesus.
Yep.
Isn't 120 when Elon has to start liquidating, or am I getting that number wrong?
It's at 121
Already
by the
liquidated.
way. 121 at the moment. Holy shit.
Wow, Apple just hit under 129, under 130. I mean,
The Bears are winning. I knew it. Oh my god. It's gonna be good.
Shit, my video lost.
Speaking of the Bears,
Video lost
I've
like
been
$22.
Oh, sorry. All right, so
I think I'm gonna double down on my puts here. I got the 377.5s. Bottom at I buy them at 80 and they're at $1. Yeah, 40 right now. I think I'm gonna probably double down on these.
They bought another quick push on Tesla for some.
Another like small play. There's a company called Taiga Motorsports. They focus on electric off-roads and extra vehicles. I don't know. I think in the future that's going to be where everyone is. Ski-doos, sea-doos, electric boats, everything. They're cheap right now, but I really don't know the front of the company. I haven't done much research.
Oh, hard bounce back to the upside on that. Interesting. I'll get out of these, I guess.
Yeah. To be honest, I'm hardcore bearish on Tesla, at least for today. Can't imagine it going above 125 again, at least.
Careful.
Carvana sitting at $4. Come on, die, bitch, die.
I've got some call credit spreads expiring today. Might have to push them out, but they're at 380 on SPY. Wish me luck.
Jesus, huge reversal to the upside.
I just entered
On what?
Amazon, $84 strike expiring next Friday.
I'm bullish on blankets because it's cold as fuck in Tennessee right now.
Word up. Yeah,
Looks
calls
like
on Amazon.
a correction for Tesla or pullback might be the time to buy more puts, just saying.
That's
You're
those
darn
moving
right,
good.
it's cold. It's so cold my chickens don't want to
Right,
go
let's buy.
outside.
You have chickens?
I have chickens.
That's
Lucky.
his balls, Rad.
I had chickens. Now the coyotes have my chickens.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say
Chickens
now
are
I
a
have
good hedge
chicken
against
tenders.
inflation.
Circle of life. Actually, I'm not joking. Natural gas. My heater has not stopped in probably 16 hours now.
Pay my dividend. Thank you.
I'm still surprised there's such a gap between APE and AMC. I really thought this would
Yep,
have closed
that's
more.
cold.
Off topic, but is anybody up in that Arctic blast? And is it as serious as the news saying?
Yeah, I'm in Indy and it's negative 32 degrees outside. Wind chill.
I'm up in
Yeah.
Michigan, and I think it's just a slow news cycle. So they wanted to pump up the storm.
Yeah, we only got an inch of snow though. But the snow was never the problem, right? It was always gonna be the wind and the wind chill.
Yeah, the wind chill's a bitch.
I'm in Toronto. It's just rain. Nothing.
It actually rained a little bit last night, and then I'm in Ohio right now, and now it's like 0 degrees and then negative whatever with the wind chill. So you
Yeah.
can see a lot of ice on the roads.
New Jersey got a ton of rain. The problem is the temperature, I just checked, dropped from 48 degrees to 25 degrees.
We're all incredibly fortunate to have all our resources, aren't we?
Yes, it's good to be American.
Or Canadian, I guess.
No. We allow those people here, especially opinions.
Oh, jeez. Fucking Mounties.
Hey, here in Canada, we like to pump our hot water into the lake so it keeps the weather away, okay?
I heard that.
I think we broke opinion.
I'm here, but I am broken for sure. It's darn COVID.
Well, if you can invest in the Great Lakes, that's probably where it's at in like 10 years, fresh water.
No, man. It's like 20%. It's not that much.
Don't you remember like that last closing scene from The Big Short where it's like, and now Michael Burry is investing in fresh water?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Oh, shit. Psychedelics actually are predicted to be the next big boom, but
So they used to be like
learn how to grow those booms and rock and roll.
I'm not sure what happened because shroom stocks used to be like really widely discussed. Even like Kevin O'Leary was like pitching them. He got like sweet deals and then like pumping up his shares. R slash
Fuck that
shroom
guy.
stocks was blowing up. But like, yeah, fuck that guy. But like, what happened to shroom stocks? They all just kind of died.
I don't know. But low key, my girlfriend's work gave her some for like a gift, like in a bottle, like a sleep aid mushroom tonic thing. I don't know. Weird.
So I got a buddy of mine who owns a CBD and THC company, and he is telling me that the problem with shrooms is that they are still 100% illegal. Like there's very little support that that the government is giving to companies that are trying to push forward like microdosing and sleep aid and that sort of stuff. They're still getting a ton of pushback.
Yeah, of course, because they can't get their cut on it yet.
Right.
Here in Michigan, Ann Arbor is decriminalized, so is Grand Rapids. So, like, look at Oregon, and anything that Oregon did, like, it'll come to Midwest in like 10 years. So,
yeah,
prep for all that.
You're gonna see weed legalized before you see any major push with psychedelics and shrooms.
The thing you have to understand about all like those legalizing for whatever things like weed have a chance or a push for legalizing because the government, right, like has to play into that because the government had an issue. They couldn't hire IT people for the longest time. It used to be if you ever smoke pot, you can't work for the government, you can't work for the FBI, CIA, whatever. And they started realizing like we can't get IT if we have that rule. So they had to like backtrack that and be like, well, as long as you haven't done it in like 2 years. And so that's what's like loosened up in the government as they started to accept like there are certain positions we can't fill if we don't let people do if we like don't let people who have never gotten high. But that's not the same for people who have done like a psychedelic. They can still fill those positions without having to pull from that group.
Well, I think it's basically can they get their cut and establish their position in the business to make money on it.
So funny story I heard regarding that whole, drug use in the federal government. I went to a forum and a guy who had worked with the CIA was there, and he told a story of because the rule is if you've done any illicit substances, you have to be clean for at least 6 months. And so the guy's like doing the polygraph interview with the guy. He's like, "Have you ever taken illegal drugs?" And he goes, "Yes." He's like, "All right, when's the last time you did illegal drugs?" The guy looked at his watch. Guy looked at his watch and said, "About 2 years or 2 hours."
Psychedelics are the shit. I'll just say that.
Like it's an interesting discussion topic for me because like medical marijuana has been legal in Canada since 2001. Like we're talking 22 years here, and so the next step would be that, and it would be probably in the next 10 years.
My homeboy's a doctor that's working on treatments with Molly and mushrooms, and certain like studies are being opened up by the government and legal. Like ketamine is being opened up. You can pretty much get that legally, and it's like the black market will always thrive. And if the government can't get their mitts on a cut from whatever business is being done, then they don't want it to be done. So they're just behind the 8 ball on this one. No pun intended.
I think the money's.
Let's be clear. There's a huge difference between weed and fucking ketamine.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh God. Tesla is also down almost 3% now.
I mean,
As
ketamine
usual.
shown to be pretty promising on depression.
So, did anyone actually mention any plays for psychedelic legalization?
think the big one is MindMed, but I
There's
haven't
some
looked at it.
trading. There's some trading phenom in Europe who ran all of the weed stocks up. He's like a multi-billionaire, young guy. Can't remember his name. But he offered a couple plays a couple of years back, and I don't even know. Like that industry might be done. It might be pumped and dumped already. You know.
So I would say definitely not MindMed. Actually, there's a shroom stocks subreddit that you can check out. Anyone who is interested in it. There are a couple of good plays, but MindMed is definitely not one of them. They're just a dumpster fire.
All right, fair enough. I mean, I haven't looked at them in so long. Sorry, Impaired.
Oh no worries. I would say just based on what I've seen and read, I would go with Compass Pathways, ticker COM or CMPS, or ATI Life Sciences, ATAI. Those would be the two main ones that I've seen a lot of good stuff about. But yeah, they've all
just
had
saying that Tesla puts
pretty
are
big.
free money at the moment. So if anyone wants to scalp a little bit, Tesla would be a good target.
We're going to wind up with a Tesla squeeze, aren't we? Because so many people are going to have puts, and it's going to create so much upside pressure that there's going to be like some stupid 40% day. It's so going to happen, isn't it?
Yeah, probably towards the end of the day, probably during power.
My Tesla puts are up 440%, but they're on my watch list, so it's a little less satisfying.
You should hodl forever.
Oh, that's disappointing.
That stings.
I think he was saying that his Tesla puts are about as real as those FTX tokenized shares.
Yeah, that's about right.
So they're hidden under his bed somewhere, and when he finds them, he'll cash them in?
Yeah, right beside my big stack of Monopoly money I've been stealing from all the library board games.
Noble.
Looks like SPY broke through the 378.5 support, so might be a good indicator to buy some puts, short term at least.
Let me tell you guys about a terrible play that I've been doing. So if you've ever heard of Canopy Growth, that's the company that I'm playing right now. They've gotten to such a price point that you're able to buy it. I think it's like $2.20 right now. And I've been selling covered calls for about 10 cents each week. Basically, I am hoping that they just don't go bankrupt in the next year. And by selling 10-cent premiums, I think it's within the next year, it pays for itself. But that's just hoping that they don't go bankrupt. And they do have debt, so it's questionable. But it's a fun play nonetheless.
Motley Fool says we got 3 days to get in on Canopy, man. I don't know.
You said that Motley Fool says that you have 3 days to get into it?
Yeah, something like that.
I don't know, that's questionable, especially because they have so much debt. Although in their last earnings report, they did actually have gross profit positive, which they didn't have for quite some time. So it looks like they may be turning a corner on their operating side, but ultimately that's not really much of an indicator though.
All right, you degenerates. Try not to lose too much money today. Have a good one.
Cheers.
See ya. See ya.
Originally, I was going to mention this company. I think it's a Japanese company that released this Alzheimer's drug, and it's supposed to be the first medication that kind of help with it. But I just checked up on it, and I guess like 2 people died from it, so that's probably a no-go.
Huh.
Hey, if they're dead, they're 100% cured of whatever it was they had.
Did they just forget to breathe?
I guess like a month after they done the tests, they all just had like brain bleeds.
I imagine the stock has been destroyed, or is there anything left to put on?
I've actually not checked. I can check it out. It's a ticker ESALY.
Apologies for I'm very new to this discussion and I appreciate you guys listening. Any thoughts on the future of genetics and like CRISPR?
Hardcore bullish. I don't care what anyone says. Long term, the biotech industry is just going to blow up. It doesn't matter. Of course, it depends on what
Blow
kind
up
of
good or
company
blow up
investing.
bad?
Just going to say, I personally believe biotech is going to blow up. Again, it's at the moment in a relative naive state, so you can play some risky. I
So,
don't know,
sorry,
private
blow up
equity
meaning
plays.
like blow up bad or blow up in a good way? Sorry.
In a good way, in a good way, most definitely. I
Oh,
cannot
okay.
see the biotech industry going under the next 20 years. Again, it's probably going to be a risky play depending on what kind of company you choose. But overall, I think it's a great has a great potential for growth.
No, I would 100% second that. What you're going to find in the next, I don't know, 10 to 15, I don't know how long it'll take, is personalized medicine. It's the direction it's the direction the medical community wants to go. It's whether or not the funding will be back behind that, meaning the school and the education. But what people are finding out with all the dietary stuff is that, listen, you could eat a box of cereal and it's going to affect you differently than the next person. It's going to affect that person differently than the next person. And understanding how certain things affect you directly is directly tied to your genome, and like CRISPR and how they're going to personalize the medicine and personalize the care. Whether or not CRISPR is going to be the ultimate winner, I don't know. But that sort of gene editing, that sort of technology is going to drive the next phase of personalized medicine and how they can affect you specifically and your conditions directly.
Absolutely, and they can even do that like predictive medicine. I mean, they've been taking amniotic fluid from wombs to predict if you have trisomy 21 or what sort of baby you may have. And if you can go in and edit the genes in the womb, that it's ultimate control of life. And people
And
are
I'm sorry to be ignorant here, but is that the same as IVF?
No, IVF is strictly just the guy jizzes in a cup and they go in and take eggs out of a woman. They fertilize them in a petri dish and they freeze them. And then when you're ready, they go and get however many eggs you want to put in, and they take the egg and they inject it in and they put it in the uterus. And
Wait a second. I thought the benefit of IVF though was that it gave you a higher probability of not having as many like diseases.
Well, you can look at each individual egg. So literally, like, they'll go in and they'll harvest eggs, and you can pick the best looking eggs. Like, you have healthy eggs and you have not healthy eggs in the female body, and you can go and find the healthiest eggs and the strongest one. And in its insemination, you can see which eggs have been have joined essentially the best with the semen. You just give your bet. You give yourself the chance for a better outcome. And
It helps to remember that the egg chooses the sperm as well.
But they're not editing anything yet. They're not that I know of. I don't think they're going in quite yet and changing parts of the genome of a fertilized egg. I could be wrong on that, but who knows?
I mean, if they've cloned a sheep that many years ago, they've been cloning people, and
they could have been.
Oh, dude, for real, like they just that was 30 years ago that they said Dolly.
Wasn't it just this week they said about that? The unnatural fetus?
I have a little bit of input on this IUI, IVF stuff. They can actually go in and modify it in a way where they can pick the eye color, the hair color. They can do all kinds of crazy stuff.
Absolutely, and that's what CRISPR does. It's a gene editing technique.
Well, money's the limit, right? And like you said, the upper market's doing just fine, so those companies will be fine. Yeah.
Well, humans' desire for control is limitless, and it's sick. So CRISPR, I believe, is going to, and Invitae is another one, where they're doing diagnostic testing to understand the genome and what is happening even before the fetus has a chance to be born. And it's dark, but we're talking about the future here, right?
Well, it was a week ago. Yeah, there was Ectolife. You don't need a womb anymore. They'll grow a baby in some contraption they built.
Yeah, they've grown I just saw a lamb grown in a fake womb.
Isn't that like the Matrix, dude?
Yeah, but you can't eat the.
Yeah.
You're just using those for batteries. You
Matrix,
can eat
the
lamb.
island, whatever. But they used to say, when it hits the news media, when it's announced to the public, the private sector's had it for 10 years.
Oh, absolutely. What I didn't get about the Matrix is the machines just grow batteries just to, what else are you gonna do there, bud?
Well, that's the idea of the simulation theory, is that outside the simulation, it's really boring. That's why the simulation has got all this nuance in it.
Sorry about that, guys. I kind of I was here and then I messed up on my phone. But we were talking about the being able to pick hair color, eye color, all that stuff with an IVF and IUI. Sorry.
Yes, we were. Did you have something to add?
Oh no, just my wife and I, we went through that unsuccessfully 3 times. So there's 30 grand we'll never get back. But
oh dude, I feel for you. That sucks royally.
Well, it's
gene
crazy
editing or trying to conceive.
That's just IVF.
Yeah, just IVF. We did an IVF, an IUI, and an IVF. All unsuccessful, and now we have a daughter, and she's about to be 2 years old, and that happened naturally. So,
cheers, buddy. That's rad.
Yeah, I would cheers that as well.
Nuts. Thanks, guys. Really appreciate it. It was tough, man. So, if anybody listening is going through this or dealing with it, if you want to reach out, please. I know exactly what you're going through, and being able to talk to someone, it's totally off topic. Sorry, but if anybody wants to reach out, feel free.
No,
So,
mental health, huge issue, boys. Mental health.
yeah, for sure.
You just need to get your wife. You just need to get your wife working at a really nice, liberal, big company, woke company, and they'll pay for everything. Like, you need more? Here's rounds 5, 6, and 7. Oh, you want 7, 8, 9, 10? Oh, here, take a year off. Go try 7, 8, 9, and 10.
So Wired Mag launched a thing this morning at 7, literally on this topic. A column at 7 a.m.
Oh wow!
Best friend married his girlfriend when they were 19. We are almost 40 now, and he is almost $120,000 in the hole from IVF. They finally had their first kid. It's been in the ICU, the NICU, for 9 months now.
Oh my God. That's
Fucking terrible.
That's awful, dude. But it's tough, man. Like, doing that was one of the most stressful things we ever dealt with. And it was pretty early in our marriage, too, because we tried for a year and then did this. And the doctors were like, bro, it's not going to happen. And then we got a dog. The world shut down. My wife was working from home. And then we found out Memorial Day of 2020.
COVID.
So,
COVID boredom. COVID boredom's better than medicine, guys.
Yeah, you commute to work. It was killing you guys.
well, she started working from home every day. I went to work every day, but she started working from home. I think it was that and the dog. The dog helped her out.
Yeah.
So,
Man, no joke, like no bullshit. Stress has a huge impact on women. Like I think
it has an impact on everybody.
Yeah, everybody carry it better. My girlfriend, she can't carry that shit, and that's just the way it is. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, it's stress is bad shit, man. Real bad. Mental health, gotta stay on it. But yeah, like I said, if anybody's dealing with this, feel free to reach out. I'd be more than happy to help in any way I can, except financially, because I'm broke as shit. So,
same.
Because I've lost it all in the stock market this year, like everybody else.
I'll throw you 20, bro. What's your Venmo?
No, we're good. It's fine. I just got a raise at work. We're cool.
So on a lighter note,
All right, wage growth.
SPY needs to break this resistance.
Yeah, which way though? To the downside, or I mean, it's made this descending flag twice, and every time it's done that, it's gone to the downside.
I never know which way to cheer in this chat either.
I'm definitely hope for a bullish approach on this, but I don't need too much. 20% I'm breaking out.
That's fair, but I mean, it's hard to play the upside when it's trending downward.
I lucked out on the Apple play. I kind of got a vibe. I didn't even look at any trends or anything going on. I just got a vibe for the Apple, and I ended up coming out on top for it. So thankful for that.
Speaking of genomics, I'll tell you guys I've heard nothing but good things about the ARK Genomic Revolution ETF, ARKG.
Puts.
Kathy's been fucking up, but I still trust her.
Bro, if you look at the holdings, like it's every good biotech company that exists, in my opinion. She's got some flyers in there, but I'm telling you, I rode that thing when it was 25. I told my mom to get in at like 30. We rode that all the way to like 110. Like that thing skyrocketed. What was that? Like 3 years ago? Shortly after it. It was a nice ride. Let me just tell you. You just had
a lot of her funds took a nice ride. I don't know why.
I don't know why either, dude. I think she just picked high flying stocks. I mean,
I think somebody dumped a whole bunch in there and then pulled the rug on her. I don't know.
Well, that's what happens, right? With any fund that goes up like that, the problem is inflows. So the inflows come, and the inflows keep coming. So you have to keep buying. So you end up just spreading your bets much. And I don't know. It's why money managers typically don't ever outperform the market over the long period, right?
Right.
Because they get so much money, they don't know what to do with it. So they just start betting on everything, and then they end up losing, and then somebody else does the opposite.
GDS is plummeting right now.
It is.
Whoever recommended GDS like 3 days ago. Thank you for that.
Yeah, that was me. Yeah. And it's not down below where it was 2 days ago. I sold my puts that I had at my 1750 puts, and then rebought calls yesterday. I'm down on the calls, but
yeah, I think I got like 1750s, and I sold them around like 20.04, I think.
Yeah, I wrote it down into this 18 and change the other day, and now I'm just kind of waiting for that trend to go back to the upside again. I mean, it had a really nice rise there, so I think the pullback was somewhat expected to some degree. back below probably 18, but
Yeah, I think if it gets around that high 17 area again, I'll probably buy some more calls for it. Medium length.
you do have SPY trying to break out.
Please don't.
So I'm in product development and design concept vehicles, and I worked a lot with Rivian. I know some people talk shit about them, but this dude scabbed like the baddest engineers from Detroit and formed this company. And it's a longer play, but the engineering behind the Rivian vehicle is fucking savage. So it sounds like everybody on here kind of plays shorter term, but you know, if you just have like a squirrel away fund, I would say Rivian is a solid thing.
Isn't like seriously, not trying to be a dick. Isn't Rivian the company that the truck was rolling down the hill?
No, that was Nikola.
Yeah.
Okay, my bad.
I don't know. I just saw a Rivian truck for the first time ever last week and was like, oh my God, these things exist. They're on the road.
Rivian's the one that has the deal with Amazon to do deliveries, right?
They're forming that deal, yes. And USPS.
Bezos bought them too for shuttling people to his rocket, right? I remember seeing them in that documentary thing.
I'm just saying, I think they're pretty cheap right now for what they're gonna be in like 5 years.
Is that financial advice?
Negative.
No, say it is. Say it's financial advice. Do it. Don't be afraid. Nothing's gonna happen, man.
It's financial advice.
Like everything I say, financial advice.
Yeah, for all I know, you have a lisp and that counts.
Did somebody just insult someone else's lisp?
Oh no, he said financial, and you know.
That's a lot, guys.
Who cares if you make or lose money as long as you have fun? Financial.
I like it.
Also, Palantir.
I just want to say, I know I might get burned for this, but what's your opinion on buy and hold ETFs such as AMC World?
What?
What's WallStreetBets' opinion on ETFs?
Nobody speaks for the sub, first of all, so don't ask like what is Wall Street Bets opinion. You can ask like what people's opinions are, but like it's not like that. Nobody like there's no voice of the sub. It's not like opinion's going to chime in and be like, well, the official Wall Street Bet stance is just.
I just think of it as optimized sampling because I suppose we are the top degenerates of the market.
Practical truth.
Here's the
opinion,
stance
what's the
of Wall
official
Street
Wall Street
Bets. If it makes me money, I like it. If it loses my money, I hate it.
If you can make money, I mean, if you can make money in an ETF, why not, right? I don't care what I'm trading. I care that it goes up.
Like earlier this year, I actually made a good amount of money off of the corn ETF. I bought shares and I also had some calls on it, and those went up a healthy amount. So I made a decent amount on that one. One of the few profitable plays I had this year.
I bought Crocs in October for a 40% gain.
There's also one called. There's one that starts with an S that people like to play here. Oh, what's that one called? Collection of companies. Oh God, my poor brain.
SQQ.
That one too. Yeah.
SQQQ, is that what
I
you
also think like Crocs guys long term, this brand is gonna do things. It's so disturbing the market. All the kids are buying shit from there. Like they're partnering with Marvel. They're
You mean my
partnering with the
wife?
biggest brands for all the little attachments for their shoes. Nobody else is doing this. I don't know.
No, they're like PFAS. They're like
I
forever
think they'll get
shoes.
bought out, but Nike should buy them.
Does Crocs fall into a Becky stock or no?
I don't know what a Becky stock is.
Oh, it's for like Lululemons and things like that. The ones that are like mostly women.
No. I disagree with that. No.
You know, Becky goes to the mall and she's going to get her Lululemon, and she doesn't care what the economy's doing. She's buying it.
Crocs aren't that expensive though. I don't think you pay a premium for Crocs like you do for Lululemon. And
I don't know. My
Spy-
Crocs are fly as hell.
Dude, Spy is tipping going green on the day here.
It was there for like 3 seconds. Like
revenue for
and
the
then it was like no.
57%.
What's happening?
I'd say it's going to dump in the late hours.
I still think Spy 500 before Christmas. It's coming. Just wait, boys.
I mean, this is the level it dropped from 381 all the way down to 378. So we'll see if it can get through that high a day.
I'm starting to think that part of the reason Loose Ventures hasn't been getting on these talks as much is he doesn't want to accidentally get another flare bet that he loses on Spy.
That was fun.
Yeah, I just bought more. I just bought 3 more puts. So we'll see if it bounces back down to the bottom side. You could.
They Spy broke through.
What you have to watch here, though, is the volume. I mean, the volume's not terrible, to be honest. I mean, you had an uptick at volume, which is good. That's what you want to see. If it's on low volume, you'd look for that reversal back to the downside for sure.
Isn't volume generally low during the week leading into Christmas, though?
I don't know specifically that. I'm just saying in general, if you're going to look to day trade, you look for reversals on low volume moves.
Oh, well, there you have it. Spy turned green on the day.
With some vengeance.
Looks to me like a short-term pump, though, to be honest. Can't think that it's going to hold long-term.
Hey, I kind of got to play, maybe. I've been, I have a contract that's ending. I'm looking for a new job. I'm a developer. And so I put myself out there, you know what I mean? I'm hearing a lot of recruiters tell me that pretty much all the shops that they talk to are moving to .NET. So to me, that's the same thing that Microsoft did in the 80s when they stole all the developers from Java. They're kind of trying to do the same thing again. And so we might be a little bullish on Microsoft because it sounds like everybody's moving to their framework.
I've been looking to open a calendar spread on Microsoft. I think the big large cap tech, Google, Microsoft. I don't know. I think there's potential there on this downturn.
I just think that's their game, right? They mastered stealing developers a long time ago, and it looks like they're doing it again.
I just envy Satya Nadella as a CEO. I think he is a monster business operator. He's done
So my aunt works for Microsoft, and she had worked for Intel, and then she took early retirement. And then once her period where she wasn't allowed to work in the industry ended, she wound up going to Microsoft. And a lot of the people that she works with were people that she used to work with at Intel.
That happens a lot. A lot of us tech guys just bounce between big name companies.
Speaking of Microsoft, is anyone playing the Blizzard Activision acquisition?
What a shit show, eh?
I thought that was leaning more to like getting rejected.
The CEO left to head the Bored Apes Yacht Club this week or something. What the fuck? COO?
Microsoft came out and said that this wasn't a monopoly problem, and so it's fine.
I mean, Microsoft knows what they're doing. They'll find a way around it. The same way that when they got in trouble for Internet Explorer being on all computers, the compromise was they just had to have other Internet Explorer options on computers, right? Like that was their solution. They'll find a compromise and it'll be something stupid like that.
Oh, yeah.
No, Edge is sick.
I have no doubt whatsoever in my mind that Microsoft doesn't run this entire fucking planet, man. Like when I really started to think about how many installations of Windows there are on Earth, it's scary. It's even more scary to think that maybe there's a fucking turn-off button somewhere in Microsoft.
I mean, this goes back to the decentralization conversation. Like, they run all these huge servers, and Amazon Web Services, Google Web Services, Microsoft Web Services. They basically like these huge services that control the data and information. And the future is going to be spread it all to everybody. And everybody has a little piece of all the information. So it's not controlled, but
You guys remember when AWS went down like a few hours? It was like the entire internet shut down.
Yes, I remember this. This was like 6 months ago or something like that.
What?
Because,
Well, I remember like YouTube, Netflix, everything was down. People were panicking.
yeah, I'm trying to remember which instance I'm thinking of. There's another instance where a backbone. So a lot of people don't know there's like 3 backbones that I know of for the internet in the United States. And they're massive cables, I suppose. I don't know what they are, but one of them went down in like Virginia sometime last year, and it fucked up all kinds of Amazon stuff and stuff like that. I think that was the cause of the one that you're talking about.
well, it's pretty wild that it's a physical cable,
I mean, what else could it be?
You guys are probably aware of the physical cable that connects us to the Japanese markets.
It's actually a
And
really
all the
cool
other
website.
ones.
All of them, like listed. A really neat website.
What was the really neat website?
Submarine cable map, I believe. Yeah.
Short squeeze with Tesla back to 124. The testing 124.
Hey guys, I just wanted to say I gotta tap out. Gotta do some work today. So if you're driving, be safe and Merry Christmas. Talk to y'all on Monday.
Cheers, homie.
Yeah, later, man. Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas. Merry Chrysler.
Did you just say Mary Chrysler?
I do believe that's
Happy
what he
crisis.
Happy Crisis.
And there it is.
I'm gonna try my best to have an anti-Christmas this year. Like we decorated and we did all the things right, but like all my music is not celestial, stuff like that.
I have
you
a
need
heavy metal
Festivus.
Christmas Pandora station.
I like it.
So
There's
you're-
a there's
Just
an
put
artist
on Christopher Lee's heavy metal albums and you'll be good.
there's an artist that I follow called Prof. I don't know if that's how you say it or not, but he released a song called "Fuck You, It's Christmas." I shared it with Opinion, actually. Now that I think about it, he thought it was wonderful as a Canadian, by the way.
It was wonderful.
Yeah.
I think Bed Bath and Beyond is leading the market today, guys. I'm just
Hell yeah.
That non-suspicious cable from New Jersey to like southern Brazil.
I'm pretty much bearish on all retail except for like Walmart. I just need the holiday numbers to confirm it.
Really?
Would it be a good time to buy like 380 SPY puts right now? Because it's definitely going back under 380 before the end of the day, right?
Yeah, I kind of agree.
Let me look at my crystal ball. 1 second.
Bounce yesterday was huge.
Yeah, but it's
pretty sure-
skyrocketed over the VWAP or whatever it's called.
I'm pretty sure it could go up or it could go down.
Was that advice?
All
That
I
is
know
financial advice.
All I know is I'm green, so we should stop the count. That's all I know.
You can't ever stop the count.
Actually, I believe Monday the count is stopped.
Does anyone in here have their account eligible for day trading?
Why do you ask?
I'm trying to count your pockets.
In Canada, there's no pattern day trading rule, so every Canadian can day trade.
What?
Not that it matters, because Opinion, as the one of the top mods from WallStreetBets, and therefore being paid by the hedgy shills, is a multi-billionaire, as we all know, as he
Wait.
suppresses the apes every day.
My cover is blown.
Wait, but even if a Canadian trades U.S. market, you don't have a pattern day trading thing?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Opinion's the founder of Wood Gundy.
Oh, that's weird.
Canada, so Canadian market does not protect their investors. The Canadian market is like notorious for like these crazy penny mining stocks that are like a dude with a pickaxe who's trying to raise $1 million to go search them their hills. And Canada's
Wait,
like, yeah, list it.
But he gets 3 million instead and never finds shit.
Yeah, it's not great. I'll tell you that.
Canada's like, yeah, that sounds great. Put that up on the market quick. Give it a $5 million valuation.
Wait, so in Canada, can you use Webull or Robinhood or all that?
No.
I don't think so. No, yeah.
Webull is locked and Robinhood's locked out. We have some free exchanges though. Not bad.
Oh, I didn't even know this.
What exchanges are free?
Well, it's not free. They take some off the top and off the bottom, but you know what I mean. There's no fee on the transaction.
You mean like Wealthsimple?
Right. A couple
Okay.
others, but not many. But again, they're charging you a premium.
Because I'm
Do you
paying
guys
what,
trade on the
$7 a transaction for TD.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm assuming most Canadian brokers have access to the NYSE, right? As well as the TSX?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, they all do.
Because like most US brokers do not have access to the TSX.
Oh, interesting. I see how it is. Give you the respect.
Nobody accesses the Montreal Stock Exchange.
There's a Montreal exchange.
Exactly.
Do they only speak French?
I don't know. They had a trading contest there though a couple months back. But yeah, Toronto's like or Canada's fake. It's just like a bank and a mining company. That's it.
I'll be honest. I watched the very first thing, like it was on trending on Reddit about Canada's parliament yesterday, and he was just asking the guy like, "How much is the average house in Canada?" And the dude just wouldn't give him the answer, and I got so angry. I was like, "Just give him the answer. How much is the average house in Canada?"
He can't do math. He can only eat crowns.
Well, it's also hard to calculate out because it's like, yeah, there are houses in Toronto that you know, but like, what about the igloos up far north? How do we?
That's
price
right.
those?
Like, yeah. Do you really want that average? Is the average true at all when one costs $10 and the other's $8 million? I don't know.
Well, that's how averages work. You would take $10 and 8 million, and then find the middle.
Yeah, but it's really hard to like get a census of all those igloos. They move around a lot. It's a very difficult problem for the Canadians.
For us, we don't really care about the igloos. It's pretty much two major cities that house like everything. Toronto and Vancouver.
We don't count Skid Row as our fucking, part of our average.
See, that's what I'm getting at. Yeah. Is a home, or is the home only a legally owned piece of whatever?
I'm gonna stop making fun of Canada before I get too mean. I'm gonna let it go.
Don't worry, man. One day Canada will run the world, and you'll all be sorry.
Bro, Spy is on a tear right now. It's about to crash, guys.
Yeah, so who said this was like a fake or weak?
Santa.
I said it's fake.
It's just the Santa Claus rally because it looks like reindeer shit.
All the shorts on Spy are getting squoze. The true squeeze was Spy. We never knew it. That's all DRS our Spy shares, guys. Let's get this going.
Wait, I thought you can only buy options of Spy.
No, there are these things
Comments.
called shares. They're like options, but they're 1/100th the value, and they have infinity on the expiration date. It's really weird.
No, I seriously didn't know you could buy Spy ETF shares.
Who was the degenerate who just said Canada's only Vancouver and Toronto?
I said it pretty much.
Wait, before you say anything, I want the Canadians here to try to guess what the third city is that you're from. Go Canadians, where's he from?
Montreal.
Yeah, but he doesn't sound French. So, Cleveland. I'm gonna say Calgary.
No,
there you go. Montreal's way bigger. Also, even Ottawa's bigger than fucking Vancouver.
Not economically.
How's the new king working out for you guys in Canada?
I don't have that problem in Quebec. We don't swear the oath to him anymore.
Yeah, nobody cares.
When you realize that Canada's just one giant trust fund, yeah, things change.
So who's the best curler?
The gold medalist from the last Olympics?
Just wanted to say Tesla's squeezing like shit.
Like
Where it's 126 at the moment. Fuck my boots.
So it's like a 3% turnaround. from its bottom?
That
I'm
doesn't
not a
sound like
believer, though. I don't believe at all in that reversal because it doesn't make sense. So much selling pressure past days. I don't believe that the bulls get control of the market again.
I mean, there's a point to be made that some of the bigger investors might just not want to let the price get low enough that Elon winds up in trouble, right? Or are going to work out a deal to make sure he doesn't wind up in trouble. Like, if I'm somebody who's huge in Tesla, I don't want Elon gone.
That's true. And I mean, the factories are a huge bet. Forget the cars, the technology, the information. The factories are where it is.
It's just crazy how much just over the last month it's lost like 25%.
Have you seen Spotify?
Let me check that out.
Oh, if you want to see some real losers, just check the 5-year chart on Blue Apron. There's a company that just went on a ski lift straight down.
Dude, a guy just mortgaged his house to buy that shit, dude. No.
I don't get it. Spotify is literally the streaming software. We're down 60% for the year, and I can't imagine their financials suck. Maybe they do.
A lot of businesses got way too high on a lot of free money being thrown into the market.
Yeah, I think that's the truth.
It's not
Simply
every business.
refinance the debt through taking up more debt, just not sustainable in the long term.
I mean, the global debt just cracked like 300 trillion, I believe. Like, you just keep saying, I'm going to pay you, and it goes around in this crazy fucking circle.
Well, yeah, and that's why I mentioned Japan earlier. I was like this is the original market creator. Like, they were trading stocks way before everybody else. The finance industry there is probably leaps and bounds ahead.
This is an ignorant question, but I'm just trying to work it out through my head. But in economics, like the wealthiest people and the people that have like the most debt, get the best outcome out of inflation. So in a sense, is the U.S. government really just fucking everybody because they technically have the most debt in the world, and we're in a sense causing this inflation by printing all the money. In a sense, it's helping the U.S. government because of their giant, $60 trillion debt. Because now their debt is not the same buying power as it was 30 years ago. You see what I'm saying?
So what people somehow seem to have forgotten is a big reason that the government printed a bunch of money is because they essentially said there's a disease going around, stay at home, stop earning an income, and survive. And so they were like, well, I guess we'll have to throw some cash at you to make that work. And I don't think people consider just how horrible the economy would have been if they didn't print that cash and just wished people the best of luck who had no jobs in the middle of a pandemic.
Like dead in the street, like bad.
Yeah, but I mean, the stimulus, I mean, altogether, the actual civilians only got like $200-300 billion. So like the most of the money, it went to these corporations who said that they needed it, or et cetera, et cetera. But
yeah, even those loans to the businesses, a lot of businesses would have gone under, which would have hurt people, right?
Well, a lot of businesses did go under, and the smallest ones did. If you have enough like flexibility to just like absorb anything and relationships with the government, I think it's just a prototype for how far can we push the have-nots, and how much further can we push the haves. But it's a bleak thing, but that's why we're all talking here, because this is egalitarian and merit-based, and I really appreciate this conversation.
Now, here's something that was pointed out if you want to look at a potential panic source. a lot of these big pensions, like, there's that Canadian teachers pension that people talk about that had like a small chunk of FTX. They ran an audit on that pension. Their pensions are incredibly illiquid. Like, if they needed to sell that off for some reason, they're in a lot of stuff. They cannot move quickly. They ran their own internal audit and came out at like 50% of what they own is illiquid by their own ratings. So there's a potential that like some pension funds could see a lot of problem in the future if things start really moving with just an inability to even move the assets that they're sitting on.
There,
But
yeah,
again,
a
like,
lot.
in Canada, it all leverages back to the land that's owed to the natives. Like, it gets really fucked. Like, people don't really take it in, but you don't own anything in Canada. It's all in trust to the natives.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, I know.
No, they're not. They're just. That's just false.
Look, yeah.
Canada, the nation notoriously generous to the First Nations people.
Yeah, exactly. What are
Notoriously-
you talking about?
Just don't look under the school buildings, but
Well, look up the
notoriously
Indian
hide.
Act. Don't look into it.
Just yeah. Well, they wrote a whole bunch of contracts and then they said null and void. Sorry, lol.
No, I mean, if you actually, joking aside, if you actually have like some sources or stuff, I'd be interested. But my understanding was Canada's almost as bad as the U.S. when it comes to their local indigenous populations.
Yeah, we just didn't have a Trail of Tears. That's all.
Didn't
No, we have the highway instead.
Why is that like that stings? That stings a lot more than anything you could say to me as an American. It's fucked up.
What?
The statement, the Trail of Tears statement, like I've never really had anybody say that to me before, and everything else that's ever been said to me, I'm like, whatever, who gives a shit? But that one kind of hurt. I don't know why.
What statement are you referring to?
We don't have a Trail of Tears.
I mean, in Canada, or you as an American, we don't have a Trail of Tears.
I don't know, man. I'm just referencing what the guy said. The fact that we do have a Trail of Tears, and I'm not ashamed of anything American except for that, apparently.
I won't speak for others, but I think he was more just saying that there aren't as many well-known events that the Canadians have done.
Yeah, pretty much. It's just a little bit more under the table.
Well, like, let's be realistic here. If the climate weather was slightly different and the hotter population was in Canada, the genocide would have been reversed. Like, it's weather dependent here. People headed south, it was warmer. Yeah. That's just statistically what happened.
Sorry, are you blaming mass murder on the
climate
people
change,
where?
yes.
Okay.
And back to the markets. How's everyone feeling about that APE versus AMC difference? I'm getting a little bit bullish on AMC myself.
Are we talking about Avatar and how people weren't going to movies yesterday?
Yes. People aren't going to movies because not as many good ones are coming out. But
Yeah, sequels never do as good.
Here's the one thing I'm starting to like about AMC. What's their biggest issue? They have way too much debt. What is this APE conversion going to do? Solve a lot of that terrible debt that they have. I don't want to own them today, but once they're done, how can I best put this? Adam Aaron has screwed over the current shareholders, but he's probably doing what's right by the company long term.
Wait, didn't he pay off the debt when it went to $72 back in July 2021?
No, they've still got like $5 billion worth of debt on the books. AMC is screwed. That's why they have to do this APE move. But if they can clear that debt, there's a real company there. I don't think movie theaters are dead at all.
I did just exit the $84 calls for Amazon.
I don't want to be that guy, but it looks like Tesla stopped pumping and it's going over to dumping.
It looks like it's just tracking SPY very closely.
Or maybe Tesla is the reason for the SPY moves.
That makes so much sense.
Anybody?
The only thing I'm mad about is that Webull doesn't have 10-second intervals. I need to see exact increments.
Just pull out a microscope.
You just need more pixels.
Download more RAM.
Did you try restarting?
Oh man, tech stocks getting a little bit beat up today. Apple, Microsoft down a little.
MDGL starting to bounce around. Had a nice drop today so far, as low as $15 down. Now it's only $8 down. Still will bounce for a while. They put preferred options out with a strike of $255 a share, but that won't last through July. So I'm still going the long-term puts to 160 in July. And yesterday we called out 390 buy calls for next week. Core PCE 4.7 looks like it's going to help propel it to there. So a few of us did 390 or 388 calls for next Friday, yesterday afternoon.
Is the Fed speaking anytime soon?
Not till late January, early February. That is the next time that he has or that's the next time they have the Fed meeting. And he doesn't, I haven't seen him have any, I haven't seen Powell have any speeches on his schedule. The other Fed governors do have stuff until 2 weeks before that when they go to their blackout period.
All right, so maybe we can get some green out of this PCE, because last CPI we were getting some green, and then Powell opened his mouth and was like, nah, we're done with that.
Yeah, yesterday completed the gap fill to 374, and if everybody remembers last week, I'm not trying to pat myself on the back. I did call out 374 to the gap fill, and I was worried when I went up to 380. We missed our shot. I mean, we missed the shot at filling the gap, and it would drop again. But yesterday filled the gap to 374.77, and that's when we all decided to kind of play 390 puts or 388 puts even for next, or 390 or 388 calls for next week for SPY. And a couple people did it and reported they were up 55% on their calls for next week already. So that was pretty good for a one-day movement. So it'll continue today, and I think we'll keep some steam up next week. They were trying to make it bad news this morning on CNBC. I don't know why, to lower this thing, but core PCE at 4.7 is actually great news.
Helicopter, what's going on with Expion? Is this just some penny stock pumping 151%?
Yes.
Heck yeah. They only have $1 million in revenue a quarter.
Wouldn't this be like buy puts right now then?
These are always too. I've seen these penny stocks go up, bounce around for a while, and not go down, and then eventually fall off. I'm going to check out what the news is. It's named an exclusive supplier for somebody an hour ago.
Yeah, Opinion said it already. It was a battery supplier, and they're doing like only 5,000. Sorry, Opinion. What was it? It was like a 5,000 per year or something like nothing.
Yeah, it was not that much. It's a small company, I think.
Yeah,
it was Simple Vice that called me out.
Sorry about that, Opinion. These type of jumps usually last for 2 or 3 days, maybe even a week, just like MDGL did for their phase 3 data. They're just still crap companies that it all depends on that revenue and how much of it they can keep as profit. And I don't see a lot there. If it's that, like you say, Opinion, if it's that limited a supply.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly, but I will say it is down fairly decent amount since open. So
I'm actually still watching Blue Apron. I think it's going to pump some more. I don't think it's a great stock, but it was down at 74 cents the other day as it got driven down. They're owed the biggest sum of money is the claim to fame for the new pump coming in. He paid 1 million of it. It was like 50 some million more. Still, I think it's a bad business plan, a bad company, but it should pump from $1 to probably the $3 to $5 range in the next month or two, but I'm not buying any. I've got better things to do with my capital anymore than to chase those dreams. I chased them enough times.
What are your dreams?
To make money on the market as it goes up and down. Actually, I'm watching the trends for SPY, which I kind of like playing that, but also I watch for the companies like MDGL to go up erratically, irrationally. It's going to pump up again today. That's why I didn't add any puts yet. Today was like I think more of a test for them to see how many puts they're getting in there as it drops, and then to try to shake them out as they raise it back up. I know sounds crazy, but there's only 17 million shares. So I'm still looking far out, July 160s. I originally bought them at $6 a share. They're up to like 10 or 11 right now, even 12 at times during the day. I'm just going to hold them, or $6 for the premium. You know what I mean? So $600. I'm holding them. I see by July, $100 a share again, possibly 125. They're not going to put out FDA approval application until at least June. They applied for a whole bunch of monies. They have 50 more million in loans and put out 200 and some million more in preferred shares, which become regular shares upon exercise. So I don't see this being a $4.5 billion drug for the uses it could have. So that's one of my big plays right now. I just keep watching the ETFs a lot. I played cold. Everybody knows that. I got out of it, but today it spiked to 24, which I didn't expect. Natural gas is going to bottom here in the fours. So I'm looking to start, and I started scaling yesterday into BOIL, BOIL. I am bullish on natural gas now for the till April or more, or May at least.
Yeah, I'm in the same play.
Hey, a quick question. What do you look at when you're looking at active daily volume versus percent turnover versus percent range?
Good question. I don't use any of them. I'm going to I'll look into that more. I mean, basically, a lot of my trading is I'm going to say I'm not a novice. I'm not an expert. I'm more in the middle. A lot of my trading is dealing with you fine folks and fine folks that I deal with in other areas. And when we discuss, I learn, but I also go with markets. I don't really worry about volume as much as knowing where the trend will be. I still play some zero DTEs here and there, but I'm focused more on the monthlies again and 6 months out, because trends are really we go with me. And for Labu, I'll play shares even sometimes. I won't do the and that's the Biotech. At times when it's ready to buy, like yesterday, bought some shares and sold them during the day. It spiked pretty well from I think 650-ish to like 750-ish. So, and today it's showing that same action. But I'm trying to focus on longer term stuff rather than the quick money things. So the daily volumes are probably not as much as what I'm concerned about right now, or any of the things you mentioned, because I'm looking for trends now.
Gotcha.
And I'm sorry to dance around it. I wrote that down. I will look those up because they do matter. But at the same time, this natural gas dip, a lot of people didn't see it. And this group that I talked with, they saw it. And when cold went from $10.30 up to 22, rode the wave, went back down to 14, rode the wave again up to 21. So that's pretty good when they can call that out and know what they're doing with it.
And I guess my thinking was, I was trying to look at this, in my own weird, trying to understand if it was like oversold some of these volume, super active volume stocks for today. Like, for example, Core Scientific Inc., number one volume, Tesla's number two. That's not abnormal. They're a huge stock. But like this, like if there's some huge volume days is that a good indicator that sometimes that might be oversold and we could, because most of these huge volume stocks, they're all positive percent change. So it seems like it kind of correlates.
Yeah, I mean, I watch the RSIs on the daily, the 5 days, the 1 month, all the things that TD Ameritrade allow. They'll actually have different RSI numbers for every day, and I will watch that as much. But those can be manipulated with spikes and with other options play. So manipulation is what I hate the most, and it happens a lot, especially with the VIX. I used to try to rely on the VIX for market volatility, but all you have to do is Google VIX manipulation and see how they've done it before and how they continue to do it. So that's why I won't even play UVIX much anymore, unless I think it's really being suppressed and ready to pop. I'll more go with the SPXS and XPXL ideas. So yeah, I'm watching and learning, but at the same time, there's a lot of tools that I do use. And Tendi brought that one up, and I'm telling you guys, I'm a believer in using the ticks on Thinkorswim's desktop version. It's not on the web version, not on the app version, but that Thinkorswim, you can set, instead of time range for minutes, you can set it to ticks, where it takes the order flows rather than the actual completed prices, and it gives you very good solid trends of when to get in and when to get out of your daily trades, which is good. That does help me realize what's going on with the options orders too, with their maps, rather than just relying on the sold orders. So there's a lot of things I'm learning, but I do like those long-term plays anymore, because that's where FedEx actually made me money, even though it was a quick drop over a few days. It was a long-term play idea. Nvidia 182. I mean, when it was 182, I said that shit doesn't belong up here. It's down to 150s again, and that'll drop more. There's those plays, and I don't know where to do with Tesla right now. I think it'll go up again before it goes down, but we're talking about that one because Elon's starting to say positive things, which will have a positive impact on it. But I still see Tesla in 6 months or a year as possibly a $60 stock. So
oil and gas related equipment service industries is all green today. Is there something happening in oil and gas that
oil is up from $72 a share to $70?
First of all, we've got high rates, high COVID victim rates in China, and also an extreme demand in the US regarding a couple of storms that are going around. So I suppose both of those events are probably boosting up those prices.
Yeah, there's also replenishment of the backup supply for the U.S.
Yeah, it's gone from $72 a barrel up to $78 a barrel here in a few days. So, that's going to always help the energy. I think that from what I've read before, Exxon always needs to be above 40 or 50, not Exxon, ExxonMobil and others need to be above 40, 50 a barrel. But of course, they do better when it's between $80 and $100 a barrel. So as closer it gets to $80 a barrel, the better oil companies and even used oil companies will do in their profitability. So that makes a difference.
So, for example, if we could tell the future and would the end of the war be a good signal that energy is going to start going down and stuff? So, it would be a good time to buy puts if the Korean or Ukraine war ends.
I don't know. Part of the reason why oil is down is because of the Russian embargo, of the rest of the countries holding back from buying Russian oil, and the European Union setting the price at $60 or $65 a barrel. Once Russia does end that war, then they can go back selling their oil on the market for market price. So that will actually help oil, even though price is being held down, that will actually help oil get more costly, because then Russia can sell it for whatever it wants. Right now, it's doing it illegally, I think, through selling it to Iran and other places. And then Iran sells it on the open market. They're trying to catch that, but of course, they're never going to catch it all.
One thing also, I for one am long CPG, Crescent Point Energy Group, and it's doing quite well today. But I think that has more to do with the fact that it actually has a pretty good dividend yield. And one thing that's happening now because of all the rate hikes is that banks are giving higher and higher rates. So the risk-free rate on average is increasing, which means that a high dividend yield becomes more and more attractive to people. I think that's also something to keep in mind, even in the short term.
Yeah, all the energies on my energy watch lists are up. BP, ExxonMobil, Marathon, all up at least 2%. Well, BP's only up 1.26%. Duke Energy's even up 0.78. CSX even is up. So there's a lot positive going on there. They may have been more worried with the data in the last 2 days for the drop. And if you look at their charts, they dropped in with sympathy from, like, give example, ExxonMobil dropped yesterday from about $108 a share down to 104.25. Then today, with the good news, it's back from 104.25 back up to 108. So, they will go back up. I mean, I still see ExxonMobil at its height again, reaching 115, 120 possibly before the end of winter, as the oil price per barrel of oil goes back up with the longer winter goes. So, good stuff. But yeah, yesterday's drop was basically being bounced back today with the core CPI news. Again, they tried to make it bad news, but that's great news, going from 5.0 expected core CPI to 4.7 core PCE. So the PCE news today is actually very good news core wise for the Fed and for the inflation.
Holy cow! Did you see what Elon said? He said Mr. Beast is a likely candidate supposedly for Twitter CEO.
Oh shit! The stock is. Oh fuck my stocks. Just wanted to say, pump and dump, a clear pump and dump on Tesla going on. With like it's above 128, and we're back to 121.
Yeah, I got smacked under the VWAP.
Like at some point, you really have to ask the question if he's doing it on purpose, right?
Hell yeah.
Opinion.
AMC is going down 10% right now. It still wants to drop.
That's weird.
Yeah, you'll see APE and AMC come to a convergence price here probably in the next week or two because of that announcement. APE will be up, continue to rise. I know that, and even what's his name said it yesterday. He thinks that it's a good thing to put them together. And there's a little video someone posted on WallStreetBets or Confused Money about him speaking, saying why he was doing what he was with APE and AMC. But APE is up another 52% today when it was up almost 80% at times yesterday, even 100% at some time yesterday.
It's a good move for the company. It's just going to crush the shareholders, but whatever.
No move for a company is ever good when it crushes the shareholders.
You need cash badly. They have a lot of really bad debt. They need to fix it. And the shareholders voted no to diluting AMC, so he backdoored it.
Yeah, the right way to make money is actually to sell a product and make a profit doing it without paying yourselves exorbitantly and having high costs while doing so.
Can you not get options on stock?
Opinion. Can you go and approve my meme post of Kramer's tweet?
There are no APE options to my knowledge.
Oh, okay. That's why it won't load. It keeps saying load failed. Please retry.
I'm still killing myself for not keeping my plug power puts I bought when they were at 30, thinking they would go down to about 12. I even bought them out to January, and I got rid of them. It had to be at least a good month ago. And man, they're down to 12, just like I thought.
Helicopter, what do you think about CarMax's little bump up?
They're making a profit, and they're down near their low. I thought when it was up at 68, we were all talking puts. But when it dropped down into the 50s, Titty and I started talking about calls, and we just didn't play it big. I played small puts and got out of them when it dipped. They're making money. They're not a Carvana. Carvana has a very flawed business plan. That's why people shorted them, and that's why they lose money. You can't deliver cars to people's houses, not have a service department, and expect to make money. But however, CarMax does things right. But however, with the slow sales, even with the slow sales of being 60%, they were still at a 24 cents per share earnings per share for their quarter. And I'm looking up one more thing on them right now before I speak more. because they are. Let me see. There we go. Chart 5-year. Yeah, they're at their low that they've been for the last 5 years. If you don't count the dip into the low 40s during the pandemic, they're not a bad company when you look at what they do, the products they provide, and their earnings. Price to earnings ratio is still around 16. I don't see them going up higher for a long time, but I don't see them dropping a lot lower. Honestly, I think they're at the right sale price or stock price between 55 and 70. So I think they're right in the range they could be in. They're a profitable used car dealer that even when sales are at 60% of where they should be, that they're making profit, and that's real dollars they're taking home.
They're much less capital intensive too. They're more data driven, and if Carvana drops out, it's only going to be more market share for them.
Yeah, Carvana only sells 400,000 cars a year, and I say only because that's for how much money they invested, they should be doing a lot more. They're just an economy of scale company. If you took all those stupid vending machines and turned them into dealerships where people could walk in the glass and come and buy a car and have their car serviced there, they'd make so much freaking money. Service makes you so much money when you sell labor and parts. Used cars make so much money when you don't try to transport them around the country and sell them. So flawed business plan, but usable pieces.
Yeah, it's the capex that really shot them in the foot. It's like all horse, no pony, or whatever.
And plus, they did have stupid buying. They would buy people's cars based on what the rental car companies were buying cars for at auction because they could get their money back out of them by renting them. And they tried to buy those cars and then sell them to people, and it didn't always work. And when it did work, it was small profits. You will not see that from CarMax. CarMax buys their cars right, reconditions them, sells them. And they hold pieces of the pie for every car they sell on the front and also make money with reserves. And that's when you mark up the interest rate to the customers that you can borrow for. They do hold some of their own financing, if I remember right. But they also do warranties and gap, right? So when you put it all together, they make profits on all angles, and I believe they do. I'm double checking. I don't know if they have service centers or not, but I'm looking for that. They have a very good business plan compared to Carvana.
Yeah, it's good old fashioned flipping.
Yeah, America's Car Mart does the same thing, and so I really was hoping to buy puts when CarMax was at 68 or 70 right before their announcements, but it got beaten down before then. So I think people saw that move coming. They beat the market makers, beat it down themselves, let there be a nice drop for earnings, and then kill the long-term puts by bringing it back up to where it should be.
Thank you so much for all this info and the community. Happy hunting, everybody. Peace. Happy holidays.
See ya. See ya.
Cheers.
Is the talk ending or something like that?
Oh, we could probably wrap up in like by 11:30 maybe.
Alrighty. So yeah, I just wanted to add that there is still a big bear short play on Tesla. Okay, I know you see the share price and you expect this to be the bottom, but let's go very quickly through some figures because I think now is the moment to basically start opening the shorts. As always, the only risk when you short stocks through options is basically you are against the market timing, right? And that's where you always guys basically get ripped off, right? So Tesla is basically still right now the market cap is 400 billion, right? Let's compare, for example, with the Volkswagen. Okay, you know Volkswagen is a top car producer in the world. So Volkswagen is currently at 70 billion. versus 400 billion of Tesla. But Volkswagen net income is 18 billion, right? Where Tesla's is only 11. Yeah. Or let's take another metric. Total revenue of Volkswagen. You like how I pronounce Volkswagen? That's how it's a bit of German accent. So Volkswagen revenue is 288 billion, where Tesla's is just 74. Okay, so how can Tesla be still valued 6 time what's the total market cap of Volkswagen is? Can someone, I don't know, maybe answer that question if you think that this is the bottom of Tesla? I see a minimum another 50% downside. So
Yeah, I think $47 to $67 is where it should be, and that's what I've felt for a while.
yes.
Volkswagen's market cap is 67 billion.
I'm not a Tesla bull, but I will say, to play devil's advocate with you journalists, the one thing that makes a hard one-to-one comparison between Tesla and any legacy automotive dealer is most legacy automotive dealers like a Volkswagen are reliant on their ICE or internal combustion engine production versus their EV production. Tesla is reliant on that EV production, which does make a different market. I'm not saying that fully justifies it,
Okay.
but it makes it a little muddy on how exactly to compare those.
Okay, but Volkswagen is basically, it's backed by now a massive EU program for basically transitioning and catching up with Chinese and US competitors, right? So I think the market is already considering that Volkswagen will be the top around the world. Actually, there is one model in some European countries, I don't recall the name, which is basically top one EV, and that's made by Volkswagen, not Tesla. Okay, then let's ignore Volkswagen and let's go to NIO. Okay, because NIO is
Wait, one thing is doesn't Volkswagen also make the Gigapress for Tesla?
Just for now. I think it's all a time scale issue.
Yeah. So for example, let's compare with NIO. Okay. So NIO is a pure EV player, right? Can someone correct me?
NIO's pure EV.
Yeah. Okay. So NIO market cap is 1920 compared to 400 billion of. Okay. How if you can just help me closing the gap of valuation, because I don't see following the metrics, seeing the revenues. Yeah.
So why are you looking at market cap and not enterprise value?
Let's go enterprise value. So it's 420 of Tesla versus 17 of NIO.
Dude, your view is way too narrow.
Agreed.
Well, look at.
Let opinion chime in. I actually want to hear opinion on this.
No, I just want to say, what about like Volkswagen's enterprise value or other legacy manufacturers' enterprise value? Put NIO aside for a second and look at the old one.
Oh, you okay? Okay, then let me check enterprise value of Volkswagen. It's 200 billion. Okay, so it's half of Tesla. All right. So it's not a 5x of a gap, but still it's a 2x, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So I still see a 50%, short kind of road on Tesla. I don't see how this company can be valued, at 420 EV. I mean enterprise value. So you disagree on the short case on Tesla, or what?
I also believe Tesla is overvalued, but I don't think the case is as drastic as a lot of people say. I also think that Tesla has a little bit more than just electric vehicles. I think their charging network will be very valuable in the future. And I had a third point, but I forget it now. Oh, yes. I think
home batteries.
Sorry, go ahead.
I'm just saying, like they're much more diversified than Volkswagen, and it's a matter of time scale. Like the vision of Tesla is much more than just an EV.
Not to mention that I think Tesla's growth rate will remain higher than its competitors.
All right. So speaking of Tesla, I'm going to pull an Elon Musk here. I need to do a poll. If opinion should go and approve my screenshot of Kramer's tweet. I need everybody to go upvote my comment. Oh, look, look at all the upvotes. Opinion.
All right,
make an exception and let it ride. Like I said,
I'm
30
doing
minutes.
it.
If it doesn't hit 50 plus upvotes, take it down.
Also, for the chat and those listening, if you have any particular grievances with opinion, feel free to raise your hand, come on up, and speak them now. Now's a great time with Festivus right around the corner for the airing of the grievances.
Oh, I totally forgot to do this earlier in the call, but there is a bug that when you raise your hand, sometimes the UI will just show that it got put back down. That's not anything we're doing. That's just a UI bug. So please do not feel insulted if your hand gets put back down. We'll make sure you know when you're insulted.
But if a mod automatically disapproves your post, feel insulted.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Do the one
or maybe post better.
The one that doesn't have NSFW on it, so that it automatically shows up.
Sorry, what? Oh, don't mark it as NSFW?
Yeah, I tried to repost it. No, I posted it twice. That's what I got.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, do the first one though.
Okay.
Is a Canadian insult sorry one time instead of four?
I got to meet my sorry quota for the day, for the year actually. So I got some stuff to make up.
It's Canadian to apologize. They're required by law, and if that offends any Canadians out there, feel free. You can message me and say sorry whenever you're ready to, and that'll be perfectly fine. I'll accept your apology, and we can go from there.
By the way, guys, just a little info regarding the energy sector, rather. I personally believe there might be some possibilities to buy some options, maybe on the gas sector ETF of iShares. I'm kind of sure that.
What's that ticker?
Wait. Look it up. 1 sec.
While he's looking it up, is the guy who mentioned PBR this morning, is he still here?
Oh, looks like a no.
Why, you got a question about Pabst Blue Ribbon?
No, the trolling.
I know.
Yeah. Well, the only question I had is there's two different tickers. There's one and there's an option A, like different shares. One is trading, I don't know, like $1 or less. I'm just curious what the difference was.
$1 less.
Yeah, I asked for that. That's my bad.
Simple's not wrong, though. You do have to be careful with those Brazilian companies, especially now that the government's going to be a little less oil mining friendly with Lula coming in. Not saying that he's going to destroy the industry, but you just need to look at Chile and their mining industry to see what a shift in government can do in South America.
So, I think Latter Day Left, he's from my town. I'm telling you guys right now, whenever these natural gas companies that are supplying my town and everyone on the East Coast right now with heat report earnings from this bullshit, my house is 57 degrees right now. I can't get it warmer. It will not warm up.
Well, your furnace sucks.
I've got two. It's a 4,500 square foot house. I mean, fair enough, right? But It sucks. This is cold as fuck for us.
And
Are
didn't the
your
U.S.
windows-
commit to doubling their
Well,
national
tick-
gas in Europe? Or I'm sorry, go ahead.
Tick is 5MVW. I can actually see, at least for the next quarter of 2023 or the first quarter, that there'll be a rise in demand for the overall energy sector, especially given there might be even more tension between, or the war in Ukraine, creating more tension in the actual market. Also, demand, as again, will probably shoot up, at least for the next couple of months, given the weather forecasts. And I can actually see probably an at the money call, for example, at the current strike. I don't know what it is. It's current price per share is 6.58. So an at the money call right there. A couple at the money calls probably, at least for the next 2 to 3 months, will prove profitable in the long term.
Sorry, mate. I'm not following you. So
He's
what's
British,
the?
not Australian journalist.
Oh, sorry. So what's the ticker? It's Renew, right? Renew Power.
No.
Yeah.
Wait. Click the window 1 sec.
5MVW.
RNW. So New Power. What's the company's name? What's the company's name? Hey, come on.
Wow, bro. What, like?
Journalist.
What?
Remember, we let you back in, and you were going to be chill.
Oh yeah. I'm just trying to keep the
But like snapping your fingers and stuff, not so chill. Give him a second.
Oh, that's
We'll get
okay.
you.
Okay. Sorry.
It's disco time in Europe where he's at. He's at a rave.
He just snorted some lime.
I do need the ticker though. What was it one more time?
I understood RNW.
I'm very confident that's not what they were saying.
Okay.
I'll echo something.
MVW.
Oh my god.
Anyways, so I just want to echo something in the comments. Someone was tagging me, just wanting to clarify that PBRA is a preferred stock. PBR is the common stock. So hope that clarifies. I also zoned out for the last couple seconds until journalist was starting to snap his fingers. And
Yeah,
he woke me up.
Yeah.
You know, if you guys are looking to play the energy sector, you can join old Rad on uranium, gang. It's always a seat on the train.
I like uranium. I want natural gas right now.
I on.
I have to be
net-
honest, it's kind of confused looking for the tickets because we've got multiple tickers.
Yeah, you're too confused, mate. So just let yeah.
I can just give you the tick of the index. I'm looking at M1W0EM. That's basically the global energy sector ticker sector index.
Are you saying M as in Mike, 1 as in the number 1, and W as in William?
Why? This is too difficult. Why is this so fucking difficult?
Yeah,
Maybe type
why?
it into chat. That would probably be easiest. Just type it into chat.
Yeah, please. Maybe or color it, Just color it in red, blue.
I mean, listen, I'm not opposed to you at the moment, but you're not making it easier is what I'm saying.
Well, Merry Christmas. Goodbye.
Merry Christmas, guys. Santa Claus.
Oh no! Wait! Hold on. He's about to
Merry
give us
Christmas,
the.
everyone.
No! Don't
Merry
leave!
Christmas.
Don't leave! Don't leave, guys! He's about to give us the ticker.
Journalists.
Oh my
I have
god!
a question for you.
Everyone.
Are you expecting payment for your research that you did earlier on Tesla?
Me? No. I'm expecting a thank you for the Keon due diligence I shared with the group. And you kicked me out of the group. Soon after I published.
Do you not get trades in return? Because I know I post trades and I know where I stand.
No, I don't ask.
Allow me to settle the debt. Thank you, journalist. Thank you.
Thank you, journalist.
Journalist,
Oh,
thank
We
you.
all
for
appreciate
coming to
your
me.
hard
Not
work.
trade or not to be.
love
Thank
you
you,
guys.
journalist.
Love you guys.
Thank you.
You actually don't need to, say thank you. Appreciate your, but yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
Okay.
I appreciate all of you.
Good job.
I appreciate all of you. Thank you for all the trades for my Christmas presents.
And thank you to all the veterans out there serving hard and protecting our nations. And remember, you can go to IHOP this afternoon, get your red, white, and blue pancakes for free with your veterans card.
Oh, it's always IHOP. Is there something like, do the veterans love IHOP?
It's just one of those places that does it, and it's a big chain. Because I don't know if I'm sure Luce's list is like PTSD for you to hear, but most of his stuff is very regional, except for like Applebee's and IHOP.
All right, good to know.
I do want to
By the
thank
way, journalists, I share the index ticker comment section. You can look it up.
Opinion, is there a show on Monday, or is it the market's closed since it's a holiday following or a holiday on the weekend?
Yeah, there's no show on Monday, but we will do like a Christmas special. I'm not sure exactly when we're going to do it, so join the Discord and ask for a special role, and we'll tag you all when we're about to do it, so you guys have a little bit of heads up.
So please tell me you, Luce, and Simple are singing "All I Want for Christmas Is You" at some point during the special.
Well, we'll see. Well, maybe we can make that happen. Although I'm definitely going to be bringing the tone down with this nasally voice.
If you could sing it while a big picture of GME is in the background, so it sounds like you're singing it specifically to GME, that would be awesome.
Speaking of which, is that still above $20? It is. Maybe there's hope yet. So, like, are meme stocks just done for now, or were they done a while ago?
AMC is probably dead. GME, I don't see why they're going to give up on it, but it seems like the sentiment is most apes are turning on AMC and finally realize they're just pockets for the company to pick money from to pay for things.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not like the CEO is particularly shy about telling them that.
The bright news is when it does a 10-to-1 split, it'll get a lot closer to that $70 entry point a lot of them have. So you can look at it that way.
right when you think it's dead, they will bring you back in to GameStop.
I may or may not have a brother who's convinced it's still going to moon, and he has over 10,000 shares of AMC, and I've been trying to get him to sell covered calls since it was at least $19 a share recently, and he will not do it. While charts show it's going to go up, and he refuses.
Can you remind him that $1 billion with a B worth of dilution is about to hit that company once this vote passed, because that's how much they can raise off of APE when it converts, and they need $5 billion to settle debts, so they're going to do like all of it. Just let them know.
Yeah, I think I heard you say that either yesterday or the day before, and I called him and had that discussion, and again, in his whatever regarded chart he's reading is going the opposite direction, and I love him, but I shake my head. And I'm constantly sending him, which now this is probably a passive aggressive a-hole move on my part, but what his cover calls would have sold if he would have sold it a week out, or even 2 weeks out, or a month out. I mean, he's leaving $2,400 on the table every couple of weeks just by not selling the cover call.
Really appreciate your candor.
Is anyone bullish on uranium energy going into 2023?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, that's of course.
Well, I was talking about earlier, it's just I'll even be bullish on global energy. By the way, journalist ticker is 5MVW. Again, I can't see, given the shortage of gas, nat gas, especially since the war in Ukraine and overall demand rising through the roof, I can't see those companies losing or even staying at the current revenue levels. I can even see them in the first quarter of 2023 increasing the revenues for a substantial amount.
Yeah, because I'm looking at UEC Uranium Energy, and when they hit their 52-week low on December 16th, 42 million shares were bought. So it seems like it's going to go back on its uptrend back to like $5-6.
You picked the one uranium company I don't like.
It has uranium in its name, dude. It's like advertising itself. No.
It does. It's also... All right, I'll keep this super short. It also has properties in Texas, Wyoming that have both produced in the past, but they've never actually actively produced before themselves. They just bought a property in Canada that needs a full-on exploration and development project to complete in order to get that property going. Their CEO is a very smart man who speaks very well and knows how to put stuff out there, but I am fully convinced that is a paper company that just wants to look like they've got a bunch of stuff on the books and has no intention of mining an ounce. And they'll make you money, but they will eventually get called out as to why they're not producing. And when that day comes, it's going to be a sharp rocket down. That's just
looking at their earnings from October 31st and just quickly glancing at it, doesn't look bad.
Their earnings was from uranium that they bought in the market when it was sold at $20 that they've resold for $40. But that's not stuff they made. They bought other people's stuff in the open market, waited it out, and then resold it. So if you want a reselling company, they're fine. But a mining company, I don't think they are. Of course, if you want to learn more about uranium, the official WallStreetBets YouTube has a whole 2-hour talk on the topic. Go check it out and follow the WallStreetBets YouTube. I got you, Opinion.
I'm sending you a check right now. But that was a really good talk, though. I think I definitely learned something from it.
I'm always down to do more.
Yes. We'll get more organized in the new year.
But on a serious note, notes, if I were you, I would look at like an Energy Fuels, which is ticker UUUU. They're also a US-based uranium company, but they've actually produced before and are contracted to start producing middle of next year into 2024. So they're like getting production going, restarting projects, and actually ramping up. Versus a UEC who just talks about how they're totally going to do it and just wait, it's going to be the best.
Okay.
And the beautiful thing about energy is that the more there are fluctuations in terms of volatility of people just wanting to be comfortable. So like to simplify it, like temperature fluctuations, for example, people want to reach homeostasis. So it requires energy to either lift the bottom of the trough or bring the top of the trough down. So energy requires people require energy to get back to comfort.
Another thing to consider from the general energy sector that a lot of people don't is there are many people on this planet who want to live like we do. Like, we're lucky. Our lights work, right? We have the internet. There are people all over China and India and Africa who just want like their lights to turn on. And that's what they're looking for, while the rest of the world sits there telling them they need to like pull back on their carbon and whatnot. So energy demand's going to push up globally because people want like a refrigerator that works, and that's it.
Is anyone checking out Five Below, the department retailer? They look way overvalued.
By the way, Red, I second your statement because logically, it's not only energy for heating units or anything at the moment because we're closing into spring. It's also due to elevated temperatures. Logically, people want to buy an AC or something. So and those things, given their honestly bad energy efficiency, are going to suck up a lot of energy as well. So it just makes sense to invest at least for midterm play until the, I guess, second quarter of 2023. Going for midterm play, depending on your risk tolerance, I'd say probably an ETF that tracks the global energy sector are going for those big value stocks such as Lindsay or something.
Do you think London and the UK in general is going to invest in more air conditioners based on?
Sorry, we can't hear you, mate.
Can anybody else hear me? I don't trust you.
I could make out that you were talking about London and the UK.
Hey, my bad. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, now you're good.
My bad. I was lazy. I didn't pick up the phone. John Wick, do you think that London and like the UK in general are going to buy air conditioners based on last summer? Or do you know? Maybe I'm generalizing you because you sound pretty.
That's actually a good question. If there are people in the UK who know, are there friends and neighbors? Because from what I understand, the UK doesn't have much air conditioning, but are
No.
people now getting it?
Yeah, we don't. But given that now every single year you have these peaks, like waves, breaking records. I think people are kind of, rethinking about it, but still, yeah, it's not there. Like, at my place, at least, in my building, we don't have air condition. It's not like necessity in summer here.
Like, it's kind of personal. Would you mind telling us what class your building is? Do you know what I mean? Like income class? Are you mid, high, low? What are you? Not
Of
you,
course,
but the building itself.
Oh, I'm high class.
I mean, clearly, I'm asking you a serious question. If you don't want to tell me, that's fine. I understand. Seriously.
No, I'm mid high. I would say my neighborhood it's mid high. Yeah.
Fair enough.
But it's the like amplitude of the fluctuation of energy as a whole. Just like the market, like the more fluctuation there is, the more there is to be gained. So it's kind of like a direct correlation.
And what I'm seeing in my research for energy in general is the increase in infrastructure for global exchange. Natural gas is the big obvious one, but we're seeing more commerce activity amongst countries.
Yeah, I think there's enough energy to go around excluding Russia, right? Like, if we cut Russia out, we can take care of ourselves. I think. I think we don't have the infrastructure for it. I think that's what this war is going to do. It's going to really build that infrastructure up.
Yeah, it's already there. I own a business that's in the industrial market, and I see 5 to 7 years out, and that's what's being focused on right now is infrastructure, exportation, that situation.
Keep in mind, the shift to EVs in Western nations is going to completely change those energy grids as well. It's going to add a lot of electrical demand that did not exist.
Yeah, so one thing I'm watching in regard.
Yeah, go on.
No, one thing I was watching just, I guess on a side note, is the issue with transformers and the supply for utility lines. That's an issue right now.
Like, it's not just that. Like, we have to rebuild everything, and I don't know where that initiative is, but it has to happen.
Well, I think what we're doing is increasing our demand. These charge stations and so on, it's just increasing demand in different locations, and so you increase infrastructure.
What I wanted to say is it's not only about changing to higher usages of EVs. I actually say the climate changing is probably one of the most, or if not, I'd say that probably the most important factor when it comes to the driving prices of the energy sector, because it just makes sense whether we have extreme weather conditions in summer when it's extremely hot. So most people would like to have an AC running 24/7. Also, on the other hand, during the winter when we have extreme colds, it makes sense that heating units will be in high demand, and the base of those products is obviously energy, in that case electricity, and we're just not that far advanced when it comes to just clean energy that we can completely just switch to a clean energy grid. There'll be a high demand of nat gas, which is one of the most, I'd say, the cleanest burning uh, uh, gas there is, logically, and therefore, until we've advanced to a certain point, I say, with clean energy, until then, I can definitely see nat gas from a price point perspective rising even more, at least in the future. And not only that, but logically, the companies which work with that commodity will probably rise when the stocks are going to rise as well, 100%.
Agree. And actually, I'm gonna share a bet with you again, guys, for free. No worries. Before I leave, I have just 1 minute. So it's a Spanish blue chip company. It's called Enagas. Ticker is ENG. Yeah. So basically, this company is has the monopoly in Spain. They are also investing in other countries, but mainly it's in Spain, on LNG transportation and transformation. Okay, so the natural gas infrastructure in Spain runs through Enagas. Okay, and then you have the other commercials slash distributor utilities. So this is a very safe business because it's basically protected by law. It can be like it's not an open market. Okay, this is a monopoly. Okay, they have the right on overall Spain. And now with LNG kind of booming in the next short midterm, this is a very good opportunity to basically buy it. The current dividend yield is at 10%. The PE ratio is not that high. It was, I think, around 15 when I bought it a few weeks ago. Now it's a bit higher, but it's a monopoly at PE ratio of 15 with a dividend yield of 10, 11, 12%. Oh, come on, guys! I don't need to explain you more, right? If you know a little bit about value investing, this is gem.
Thanks, journalist.
Thanks a lot.
Okay, guys. So happy New Year, whatever year end. Merry Christmas, whatever you guys celebrate. I don't celebrate nothing. I'm a humble person, humble guy. I don't even celebrate my own birthday because I feel bad. There are a lot of people without with nothing in this world. So I just thinking of the poor people who have nothing. I do contain myself in humbleness. So yeah, enjoy. Don't spend too much money. Save money. Value invest. Invest smart. And take care, guys. Talk to you soon. An opinion. Thank you for your loyalty. Okay. I hope I never come across that guy who betrayed me. Loser venture, whatever was his name. Okay. Because I really feel like that was nasty. That's not how we are in the street. Okay, so take care, my brother, and thank you all.
All right, well, thanks for coming.
Have a great Festivus, journalist.
We've got 15 minutes left.
Donate to charity. No, sorry, I didn't.
His mother doesn't celebrate him either.
Will Mr. Loser Investor be at the holiday special? You assholes. Shame on you. It's Christmas.
I mean, we were all thinking it, but it wasn't him specific.
Yeah.
I'd have thought if any of you had said that, I'd have totally been on that joke. Come on now.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to hear anything more until he left. I was just like, leave, please leave.
I'm convinced at this point that you pay him opinion, and this is all like a fucking farce for our entertainment. This is a drama show.
It's actually Loose using different voices. That's why he went from loving Loose to having major beef. This is part of the greatest season of WallStreetBets.
Oh my god, I didn't even think about that, Rad. But you're right. That voice change AI shit could do it. I see it.
We'll all know when one day Loose comes in but has the wrong accent, and we're like, hold on, Loose. And he's like, oh, wrong account.
I mentioned that to Hardy, I don't know, like a month or so ago, that it was just loose trolling him. And he said, I forget his exact words, but if he found out that was true, there would be some serious hell to pay.
By the way, guys, we were talking about some energy sector plays earlier. I'd like to propose another play. Maybe it's just nothing extraordinary. Blue chip company called Lindsay PLC. I've talked about it early on. Biggest market cap in the main index, the performance index of the German economy, should be the DAX, if I remember correctly. Ticker is LIN. The market cap should be as 160 billion, 160 billion, yeah. And revenues increasing over the last 2 years, a consistent increase in revenues. PE is it's out of the fucking mind. I can't got a PE here of 44, which is, given the market cap of the company, extreme at least. So not only is it a blue chip stock, I think there's still some room for substantial growth, at least in the next 6 months, 7 months. And you're just saying a consistent increase in revenue, solid profit numbers, basically no debt. So if you're into quality factor investing, might be a nice play. I propose an at the money call, for example, call option. Yeah, and it just can go up from here. It's just too good to be true, almost. And yeah, as we've talked about earlier, given the quite probable increase in demand for the energy sector overall, and especially Lindsay is not just a big player in just a general big player in this energy sector. It actually focuses on industrial gas and facilities which produce said gas. Therefore, it fits perfectly into OTT regarding nat gas price increases. So you can actually see that company not only growing through the increase of demand for overall energy, I can actually see it growing two ways. The one, like from one perspective, growing because of, as I said, growing prices, increasing prices in the nat gas sector, nat gas as a commodity rather, and I can see it also growing from another perspective through the overall growth of the energy sector. So it might be a nice play, buying shares, of course, whatever you like.
Thank you, John.
On that note, I think we'll wrap it up. I guess we'll. Oh, sorry, what?
I would just like to hope that everyone else's mothers celebrate them this weekend, and have a great one.
Right on.
Yeah, let it be known, all your mothers celebrate my birthday, so no need to ask me. I'm good.
Sir.
So as a reminder, on Monday, we are not hosting a call, but join the Discord and we'll notify you when we host the Christmas talk, the special Christmas talk. Other than that, thanks so much for coming out. And once again, we'll see you all Tuesday.
Thanks a lot,
Good luck,
guys.
everyone.
Have a great one.
Much appreciated.
Bye.